She was living in a single room with 3 other individuals. One of them was a male, and the other 2, well, the other 2 were females. God only knows what they were up to in there. And furthermore, Susan, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to learn that all 4 of them habitually smoke marijuana cigarettes. Reefers.
Fuck 'em up, hit 'em with an uppercut. I'm from the Fight Club, you know we never love. Bring it, don't sing it, I'm the king of the ring. Ding, ding, swing, bitch, cook you like a chicken wing. UFC can't fuck with me, I'm the ultimate champ. Jiu-jitsu, I'm out, you can go ass down. Boom, bam, goddamn, slam down, body slam. If you looking for a motherfucking fight, here I am. Fight Club, that you can hang low, some better swing. Run up in the spot, slap a waiter, fight is broken out. Seconds later, I love the fight, I'm an instigator. Swinging bombs, these hand grenades, treat the bouncer, rockets no.
Hello everyone and welcome to In the Rotation, episode 7, excuse me. It's like if they're all running together at this point.
We do them so often anymore, they just run right in together.
Fight Club 2. We are watching the tape-delayed version of UFC from FX.
It's live.
Yeah,
You're asking
it's
me,
live.
It's live.
It's live in our studio, so that's all that matters. And we have been just watching this fucking rubber from England get his ass beat.
Yeah, so far this whole event can go away. I'm not really missing much.
Yeah, hopefully the as we get closer to the main card, if you will, business picks up. But so far, that one dude getting knocked out was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like a good knockout. Yeah. And then I like the, oh my god, my knee hurts, stop punching.
Yeah, that was weird. He just collapsed like, my knee. You know,
Randy Couture was pissed at you, I'm sure.
But episode 7 now, Fight Club. We were originally scheduled to have our buddy Lockport Joe in studio, but he won't be able to make it tonight. Future episodes of UFC, though, he did promise us he would come in studio.
Sure.
And
it's a whole different thing,
live.
I think, when he's in the studio, obviously, than when you're sitting through Skype.
Yeah, definitely. No guests. Sal doesn't have anything lined up. We're just sitting here watching UFC, and we figured we'd turn on the mics again and bullshit for a couple hours.
Last time we did this, we went 3 hours.
3 hours on one topic. I don't think we have one topic we can go 3 hours on.
We don't, but we do have a new top 5 tonight. Yes. R&B, and that does not stand for Rocks and Blunts.
No, it does stand for Rhythm and Blues.
Which would suck. We also have a Who Said It? Mitt Romney or ICP? Who said it?
I love this. I can't wait to play this. I've stayed away from it. You haven't told me anything about this. I want to play the game fresh.
Yes.
Who said it? Mitt Romney or the Insane Clown Posse?
And then if that goes off right and we enjoy it, I have another game of Who Said It, and it gives you multiple choices of people, and I don't know the answers till we pick it. So it'll even be, it'll even be more interesting. I know the answers to this test.
Right,
so it's more me quizzing you at this point.
Right. And
then
I like it.
Another thing that's so great is we actually have, off my Facebook page, some random friends' comments on the world government and surroundings.
Yes, I love this. I love people's ignorance and pointing it out. Yeah. So that should be fun. It's like reading the Yahoo comments. Have you ever I go to Yahoo all the time. I live on that page.
Okay.
And
on the page or the page?
Page.
Okay, cool.
I'm fucked up. What do you want? I'm a couple beers in.
We got some Jack Daniels going.
Right.
Basically, tonight
I took a call from Shawn Michaels like 2 minutes ago.
It's going out to Harry Carey tonight, if you will.
Yes, you're going out to Harry Carey. So by about hour 2.5, you'll be slurring your words. But we won't be popping our P's.
No,
because we
no
have
more popping the P's.
Brand new windscreen, so you folks at home don't have to worry about it. We are live on Spreaker.com. You can find us. I'm sure if you're listening, you know how to get to us.
You're already listening, right?
But you can follow us on Facebook. For the love of God, please follow us on Facebook.
Death Grip
I am pandering here.
You have to pander.
I'm begging.
It's not going to happen. It's shocking. It's shocking the small, minute amount.
The people are listening.
Yes.
They're there. They're interested in what we have to say. Just do us a solid and go fucking like the Facebook page.
Well, before we get started on tonight's show, I'm going to advertise a little bit of what's coming up in the future. Back and forth with some emails here. We're going to have a Girl of the Week. A Girl of the Week.
Really? So This is taking off. You've actually got some traction on this.
Believe it or not, I got multiple girls saying, absolutely, I can't wait to come on.
No shit.
Now, the idea behind this is we're just going to, I told them, get me 7 photos. And every day, we'll just put a new photo of you up. and we'll see if this gets us.
I hope so. I hope this works.
If this doesn't work, we'll still interview the girls, but you don't get the photos.
Right, and the interviews could be interesting. If these girls are interested.
The first girl does homemade porn, like pay per porn.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not
yes.
Ibelice.
Yes.
Okay? It's not cunt face.
Yes, not cunt face.
You know.
So these chicks aren't uptight. All right, excellent.
ITR
uptight. Chick of the week. I like
Chick of the week. Yeah. And preferably we'll get her to write like ITR on her belly and snap some photos. You know, some random risque shit.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. We're gonna step
I'm
it
not.
up a little bit.
We have no problem getting into the porn business.
And then a man that I know you love and I love, and if you don't know him, you will love him. Tommy Drake was one thing, but we're gonna have Jamie Dundee on the show.
Yes, this. Oh man, Sal, you hit a home run with this booking, my man.
Jamie Dundee. Have you ever heard the term diarrhea of the mouth before?
There's not going to be a whole lot of us on that show.
And I also heard a rumor that he's on the next season of Steve Austin's Redneck Island.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Well, I want the inside Iggy on that.
Yeah, so
you know that Austin's going to look at him on the first taping and be like, Jamie,
Austin knows him.
What the fuck are you doing?
There's
here?
no way they don't know each other.
Right? They were there at the same time.
But even who Jamie's dad is? I mean, Bill Dundee, Steve Austin.
He worked
knows.
in Memphis, so like the second place he went.
It's like us not knowing John Kelvin if we saw him later. He's like the John Kelvin of Bill Dundee.
Right, exactly. So Jamie Dundee's going to be joining us. I think maybe this Tuesday.
Yes, and in a perfect world, he will come on now, tell us a little about the show, go on the show, become as famous as you know he's going to become when he's on that environment, and then come back on the show and bring a little bit of his fame with him.
Absolutely, that'll be awesome, dude. If we could latch onto the Jamie Dundee train.
His exact quote was, "Anything you need, brother." Whenever they say brother,
you know they're serious.
They're
serious. We also announced this week, if you didn't catch it on Facebook, if you didn't like our Facebook page and catch the news, we did announce as well Captain Atheist getting his own show under our little ITR umbrella. So Thursdays at 11 a.m., the Captain Atheist show will be broadcasting live through
I had
Spreaker.com
a little typo.
page.
It's 11 his time, so it's actually 1 o'clock our time.
I was going to say, because that's like 9 a.m. I was like, man, Captain Atheist is going to get up early to try.
I didn't read his email fully. It said 11, I just assumed.
Yeah,
so
it's easy
there
to
you
do.
go.
You don't want to read the whole email because I'm sure it was a long email.
Believe it or not, his emails are short and to the point. It's when you get him on the phone, it's a whole different fucking ball.
It's all over.
It's all over.
And we are efforting some other things. One person who we thought we were going to get, we're still working on. We're going to beat him down. I'm not even going to mention his name, is not to jinx it. But hopefully,
by the way, Captain Atheist is on right now. He's always on Skype. He's
awesome.
Just standing by.
Awesome. Maybe if we get bored later, we can give him a call.
I don't know if we'll get that bored tonight because you got. It's basically he comes on, we shut the mics off. It's a commercial break.
We'll go take a call from Shawn Michaels, and we're all good.
That and Ham at 450. You think he'll come back on and tell us more Ibelice stories?
No, he didn't want to tell us Ibelice stories when he was on.
Brandon did run into him at a Blitz show. Maybe it was, I believe it was Blitz, and asked him, so come on, come clean. She is a cunt face, right? And he admitted it later.
Of course, he basically admitted it on the show. He couldn't say it because they're friends and blah blah blah.
Whatever.
But come on, his non-answer answer was awesome. That she is a cunt, and no one likes her, and she's got a bad attitude.
Shitty attitude.
She may be pretty, but that only gets you so far.
You know what, man? It doesn't matter. Beauty, after a while, gets real boring when you're a cunt.
Right, and when you lay there, which we also found out was true by his non-answer.
She just lays there and waits for you to finish.
That dead look in her eyes.
That's just it. It's like, you ever hit a deer with a car and walked up to the deer?
Yes, I didn't, but I almost died once.
That's right. I was the one that hit the deer with the car. It wasn't my car
I was
either.
in the front seat where it hit right on my side of the car.
We were driving home from Philly. It was snowy and shitty outside, but it was clear when we hit the deer. It wasn't snowing. It was clear, but it was cold and shit. And we're driving down whatever 419 or whatever roads out there, heading back to 90 or whatever. And in the distance, 200 feet up, we could see this deer.
Well, you could. I was asleep in the front seat.
Great front seat person too, a side companion that's sleeping while
those were the rules. Those were the rules.
So I see the deer coming, and I go, oh, well, here's a deer. You just watch it. You just kind of hope nothing happens. So then I get like 100 feet close to it, 50 feet closer to it, 25 feet from it.
Pause. Pause. Now I hear, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. And I got like the hoodie pulled over my head, and I'm leaned back in the chair, and I kind of sit up like, only to see like the eyes. Like I saw that fucking deer in his eyes as it hit the front part of the Astro.
It hit the not the Astro.
So
it was the
Aztec.
Aztec.
Sorry.
So I'm 20 feet from it or so, and now it decides to cross the street because I'm close enough to it.
Of course, why not?
So now I'm on a 4-lane or 3-lane expressway. So I juke right, he jukes right. I juke left, he jukes left. And even Sal's like, just hit him! Like there's no saving this. Boom!
Boom! And then we go, oh, shit, all right, get off to the side of the road. And you three motherfuckers are like, let's go take a look. And I'm like,
You know what?
No
I'm glad
way.
for the sake of this story, I can tell you what a dead deer in the eye looks like. I'm glad I did it.
I don't want to know. I had no desire to know. All I know is I'm sitting in the front seat and I'm like looking in the mirror as you guys are walking back towards it, and all of you got there, and all of you at the same time were like, oh.
It was smashed and convulsing, we didn't see it right away because we couldn't tell because it was so dark.
Right.
And then another car came around the corner and it flashed its lights in the field as it was making the turn, and we just see its head cocking back and forth like, okay, that's enough.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely dead.
Let's go.
Definitely gonna die.
Oh my god! Back in the car 14 hours later, we finally get home. So.
And I don't think the front end of Sal's car was ever fixed, right? He just rocked one headlight
No,
for a long
believe it
time,
or not,
right?
what ended up happening was another thing happened to his car. I don't remember exactly what. If he was actually
That's right.
if he was actually wanting to tell us a story, he can come in and tell it, but he won't.
No.
Something occurred or something happened to his car later, ended up totaling it out, and he blamed both dings at the same time and got a payoff.
Nice. Well, so it all worked out.
Everybody wins.
Yes. So I guess was that. Do you have an official green hit?
I actually do have a green hit.
All right, so hit me with your green hit.
I know you're not a fan of the place, but Great America yesterday, I got to go, and here's the difference. To go to Great America is a Six Flags production, I should say, because I found out yesterday not everybody knows what Great America is. I just thought you say Great America and you assume amusement.
Yeah, it's Six Flags something or other everywhere around
Much like
the country.
Paramount has Paramount, Great America. It doesn't make a difference. Anyways, this is Six Flags Great America, and a friend of the family's boss buys it out. So there's literally nobody in the place. So there's no lines. There's no waiting. Like, we haven't sat down and had a beer for a half hour because we had rode everything several times. Like,
Sure.
let's take a break. Like,
Right.
you don't take a break. You take a break while you're in line, waiting in 3 hours in line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got a home run with this new ride. It's called X-Flight.
Okay.
Your standard cart, you're in a cart and you're riding in a deal. This, you sit outside of the cart. So it's like imagine a bird is the middle, the bird, and then imagine the wings. Imagine flying on the wings.
Whoa.
So the wings have 2 seats on the wings, and that you're flying on the wings. So the whole ride is dodging you in between gaps.
Oh.
So as you're going and twisting, and the initial climb. Now this is a super coaster. There's a roller coaster and there's a super coaster. Super coasters aren't ran by the chain, so you're not doing that.
Right.
It just zoom like you just take off like you're the Jetsons. Okay. So on the initial climb, it goes kind of slow, and then it goes faster and faster. Like on the climb, it never goes faster, so you have that long wait, and that's kind of part of the scare. But when it goes faster, it's even scarier. Right?
I'll bet.
So the initial, now mind you, it's the bird, right?
Uh-huh.
So on the right wing, that's the low end, and on the left wing, that's the high end. So as you're going to turn, and when you go to make the initial drop, it's not your standard over-the-hill drop.
Okay.
It corkscrews under and then drops. So when you're on that left wing, you're another 20 feet in the air higher than what the whole coaster
my
is.
God.
Dude, it's so
Oh,
awesome.
it sounds like a nightmare.
So you turn in, come down, and come back around, and then you start like you're basically turning the whole time, but like a bird. You're basically flying like a bird, and then they
shit.
thread the needle like a head of a needle, and you go between a wall, like right between a tower. It's so, and every time you scrunch up like in a ball,
Of course, because you think
like,
you're going to smash into it.
you can't.
Of course, yeah.
But visually, we went on it 12 times yesterday. I counted 12 times, and every time we were like, "Oh no,
Maybe this will be the time I smash it.
yeah." And then as you get through the needle, you turn one more time, and now if you were on top, you're now on the bottom of another needle area that you got to thread. Dude, incredible. It's only like 40 seconds long, the entire ride. It's not a long ride.
No shit.
Yeah, but it's incredible. And like, so we deemed it house showing. We would go to walk down the ramp to leave, and the ramp up was just a house show flip over. Like a house show over the top rope to the outside. We have a house showing right back over, just getting right back on the ride. No one caught us.
No, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But so then we get to go on my other, like the ride there is Raging Bull. It's like a minute and a half long of a roller coaster ride, and it gives you the deepest drops. Like the initial drop sucks you back in, so when you're falling, you're literally not even in your seat. Whoa. You're just falling.
See,
awesome.
I am panicking listening to you tell the story.
Yeah, and I'm not really. I don't like. I'll never go skydiving. I'm not like a thrill seeker. But roller coasters are. I
That's
go,
your limit.
Yeah, way my limit. You know. So then Raging Bull, we're on it, and mind you, the place is rented out. So like several times we just sat there and there was nobody in line, so we just went again.
Yeah,
fuck it, just go again,
Shit.
right? Yeah, and then later in the day, more people came, and there's really only like 3 rides in Great America you want to go on. Like there's 30 of them in the park, but there's only 3 that are adult rad-ass rides.
Are people still riding the American Eagle? I mean, really?
I don't know. We didn't go anywhere. I don't even know where it's at, but I could see it when I'm there, but I have no idea where the line starts. So the lines later picked up on these 2 rides, okay? So we go to get off, and no matter what, there's always 1 or 2 seats open on the coaster. Always. There's groups of 3. There's random people that don't fill the seats. So we just thought we'll let the line, like everyone gets off, everyone can leave, and then we'll wait, and we'll just hop back on. Of course, you can't do that, right?
Of course.
You can't do it. Rules. And I'll argue, but I understand, because then everybody would be waiting, and then it would just, no, guys, got to go. It would cause chaos. But if we're not, like, letting it be known, then just shut up.
Right.
Let us on. Dick. Just shut up. So we wait, and as we're waiting, the guy has seen us now, and he doesn't like us anymore, because now we're the guys doing it over and over again, and we're strong-arming everybody. Like, doesn't even shut up, you know? Like we rented it, you know?
It would have been better if you did have the Road Warriors face paint on while you're doing it.
That's another green hit. So we fucking we're standing there, and the guy goes, "Come on, guys, you guys got to go back around, got to go down." Now, mind you, to go down and go back around and get back in line, it's 10 minutes.
Right.
Like, it's just 10 minutes.
Right, it's just another rat maze.
We're like, fuck you. We've been walking this whole part. We don't want to. So the guy turns around, and I go, "Man, you're a douche." And like he like stops, and he's like a 16-year-old kid, you know. So he like turns around, and he's like, "All right, come on. I don't want to be a douche. Come on." And he put us back on the cart. Awesome. Yeah. So Brendan, like I told him, like we were laughing about it. I go, "That's actually the worst thing that kid could have done, because now I think it's carte blanche. Like, the next time someone says that's something I can't do, I'm just gonna call him a douche and hope they let me do it." No, don't call me a douche. So.
That's awesome.
There's several stories from last night, but those were the key ones. I will cash this bull out and hand it to you for the repack.
You know what? If you follow me on Facebook, you know one of my favorite pastimes these days is to point out stories of people being stupid with guns. That's one of my new favorite things, because it's very easy to do. There's usually a headline at least a day of somebody doing something stupid with a gun. So my favorite one this week was, did you read about the guy that his sister lives next door? The sister calls and says, "I think there's someone trying to break into my house." So his first thought is to grab his gun, of course, right? He grabs his gun, he goes outside and looks, and there's someone in a black mask with a shiny object in his hand starting to come towards him. His first thought, of course, is to open fire, because of course that's the right move. Turns out the person in the mask was his 16-year-old son. Who they don't even really understand why they don't know why the kid was outside with a black mask and a knife, but
wow,
yeah, he ended up killing his own son.
And the conspiracy thought in me thinks it's even like maybe he just wants to shoot his fucking kid.
Well, no, that's just it, because there's some timeline things, like the kid was 16 years old. He's like an online gaming nerd.
What was shiny in his hand to begin with?
A knife.
So
he had a knife.
Maybe he should have been shot. What the fuck?
But that's just it. Here's what I'm saying. My point is, it's easy to say, well, a guy was coming at me with a black mask and a shiny object. But when you use when the answer is a gun, there is no do-over. There is no, oops, I fucked up. A stun gun, a taser, does the same exact job there, and nobody dies. And he realizes it's his son, and he goes, "Get the fuck inside the house, you dumb motherfucker. I'm glad I stun gunned you." But no, the answer to most people, and this is what drives me crazy, is that people say, "Oh, I need it for protection. I need it for protection." But then your first judgment is usually wrong, especially when it comes to guns, and there is no do-over. So it drives me insane that people are like, "Oh, we gotta have more guns, because that thing in Colorado never would have happened if there was a guy with a gun in the theater." Bullshit. What happens is a guy with a fucking machine gun comes in, throws a fucking smoke bomb, and starts shooting. You do the same thing that everyone else in that theater did. Duck. That's your first reaction. I don't care. Everyone says, I'd be a hero.
Not a trained gunman, though.
Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
A trained gunman would duck down, he'd get his gun, and he'd sight him out.
Right.
But trained gun guys...
Except
guys
it's in
that
a
own
dark
guns,
movie theater.
But guys that just own guns that are going to open fire are one thing. But guys that have, like, licenses that are trained gunmen, like Dean's a trained, like, He's almost a cop at this point, trained gunman. He's very safe and understands it, and that's how he would do it. I've had a long talk with him about it.
Sure, I'm sure in his mind he believes in that situation that's what he'd do. I believe that in that situation everyone is going to pause for that second, and
Of course,
in that pause,
a cop wouldn't. Because he's trained with a gun. But
bullshit. If you're in a movie theater just enjoying a movie and a guy busts in, before you even realize what's going on, shit's already hit the fan.
Of course. And then you go down, and then you have your gun, and you shoot back.
But you're in a dark theater with a guy that's dressed in dark who just threw a smoke bomb. It's more likely you're going to hit an innocent person in that theater by opening fire.
I think it's ignorant, though, to really have a strong belief on either side of this, because there's so many what ifs. This is such a what if conversation.
But it's always the what if that comes from the gun people is, what if someone comes in my front door? What am I going to do? How many people are getting their front doors busted in these days? You don't know. You don't read it. And if this was going to be an answer and having a gun was going to be solving the problems, why every day is there someone new going into a place where they got fired and opening fire? No one has a gun there. No one's ready then.
Dude, really, though, the more and more this goes around and the more these gun stories are these think tanks want these stories shopped out. They want these stories out about guns. They want guns gone, dude. They want guns totally illegal.
I agree. I don't know that guns totally illegal. That's not realistic. What my stance is that there should, without question, be tougher screening.
Sure.
I don't think it's okay for a guy that was in the military to be able, without heavy screening, especially those people, above all else, military people that come out and become civilians. I think those people should be under the most scrutiny, because what you're finding is a lot of these guys aren't mentally stable, but they sure know how to use an automatic weapon. And if they've been over there in Iraq or Afghanistan, they've probably got a chip on their shoulder about brown people. And you can't trust their judgment. Those people have been broken down as human beings and built back up as killing machines.
Sure.
You can't just unleash those people on society and say, well, because they were in the military, we're going to assume they're going to be responsible and sane with a gun. Well, that's not the case. But I think in general, the rules and the screening is you can buy firearms off the internet. You can go to these stupid backwoods gun shows and buy automatic assault weapons.
Fully assault weapons.
No one's checking you. No one knows how fucking crazy you are. No one's asking. And I think it's ultimately it's more dangerous because people are not responsible enough. This society, most people are not responsible enough, man.
Really, though, it's like, you know how many guns and gun owners there are? There's millions, right?
Right.
Are there millions of people doing this a day? It's like saying weed makes people crazy. There might make this many people crazy, or steroids might make this many people crazy. It's not an epidemic. It's just not.
I don't know, man.
It's just not. No, you're hearing it more. You're just hearing it more. I read a whole article on these on latest think tank concepts, and the gun war is out there now.
Okay, the stories are getting out there, but that doesn't make the stories any less true.
Sure, but they've been
the
going
stories
on
are there
forever. Like gang members.
I
if
agree.
you wanted to focus on gang members, there's shootings every day.
Absolutely, I agree.
And if they didn't have guns, let's say we eliminated all guns tomorrow, you can go online right now and learn how to make a bomb. Those are just as dangerous. They could have blown that theater up.
Sure,
but they could have driven their car through it
and
had explosives and blown that place to pieces.
But the problem is with that is you can't make a split second. You can't make a split second decision.
Crazy's crazy.
And build a bomb. You can make a split second decision and get mad about something and grab a gun and make a horrible decision.
I'll show you right now online with Coca-Cola, and rubbing alcohol in a 2-liter bottle will blow up. That's it. I have both those in my house right now. But you mean to tell me if I was mad at my wife? Let's say I was mad at her. I was real pissed. I don't have a gun, so I need something to kill her with, right? I can go right online and search and go. I have those two things, and I can do it just instantly as a gun. That's my point. You can get rid of guns if you want to, but there's still every other way. There's thousands of ways to wreck shit everywhere.
Sure, but
crazy's crazy. There's no fixing crazy. I mean, we have crazy people.
Yeah, but you know what? We need then there needs to be stricter guidelines to buy a gun.
That goes without saying.
Why should it be harder to get a driver's license than it is a gun?
Dude,
it doesn't make any sense.
It's not by accident, man.
It's not
by accident
and honestly, how about I think militias, these militias, these crazy fuckers that stockpile piles upon piles of assault rifles just in case the government comes knocking on their door one day. I think that's fucking crazy too, and I don't think there's any need for those people either.
It's crazy to have that opinion, but it's crazy. It's crazier to take them away because these 5 points that they talk about. 5 years ago, I was talking about FEMA camps. People are laughing at me, going, "That's That's never going to happen. The government doesn't do that, and now they're doing it. And the same people that were talking about that are telling me about if they take our guns away, that's the last step. And that's why these think tanks are putting this out there. You don't have to believe it.
Yeah,
but remember a couple years ago, you would not believe in any of this stuff, and now it's slowly coming out more and more, and you're believing this much more every day. They take the guns away, or they make the guns totally obsolete in some way, which is almost impossible. Dude, it's over. It's over.
I don't believe that.
It was
because just for the same argument, if they take the guns away, we'll find other ways to defend ourselves.
And I understand that, but like the idea that all these homes have these firearms is the one thing stopping total tyranny, man. Total tyranny taking over. It just is.
I don't know.
It just is, because when they go knocking door to door to get the guns, that's when it starts, man. And that's what these guys have said forever. And I used to just turn, like I say, Alex Jones. I would listen to him and I would just go, I'm not that into you.
That's that fucking. I think that's loony talk, honestly.
And that's fine. But again, like I say, FEMA camps 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you would have said was loony talk. And now the American citizens this week came out. There's American citizens that are in these prisons right now.
But ultimately, if you're not doing anything stupid, you don't have anything to worry about.
It's not doing just stuff that's stupid, like the stuff.
Listen,
the stuff we're talking about here.
I could promise
we could be arrested for this.
I suppose, but I can guarantee you that I'm never going to end up in any FEMA camp because I'm not going to put myself in a situation.
But you are. You're doing these shows that are against government codes, man. And the deeper it gets into this stuff, and the more regulation that comes across this kind of stuff, anybody can be arrested for this shit. Absolutely, man.
It didn't work when Germany tried it.
Yeah, but
it's not going to work. It's not going to work when
Nazi Germany 10 years prior to the concentration camps. They would have been burning Jews. They would say no way.
Right,
but then
ultimately, for a minute that happens, but it's not like we're gonna. It will turn around, and who's going
to turn it around? We turned it around for Germany. Who's going to turn it around for us? Who's going to step at China?
I think ultimately the people.
You think China would step in and help us?
No. I think the people would rise up. I do think that the people, because we do have guns at this point. I understand the toothpaste is out of the tube on that. I understand. I'm fighting a fight.
Getting rid of the Second Amendment's silly. There should be regulations on it, and like some states have like a 5-day cooling off period. You can't get a gun. There's a cooling off periods.
Yeah,
not every state.
But in those same states, they'll have illegal gun shows. And there'll be police buying guns for their private use at these gun shows because they don't care because they're fucking hillbillies.
I walked up in my office of my restaurant that I work at. I probably shouldn't be saying this. I walked up in my office of my restaurant, and one of the people there was buying assault rifles, full on from a military guy.
Right.
So that's it. There is no fixing this gun problem. There could be stricter rules and stricter regulations. It goes like the DUI laws we were talking about a couple weeks ago on the show. There could be as strict as laws as could be, and they're not going to follow it, man. People have the I don't give a shit. It's not going to happen to me. Much like you just said, it's not going to happen to me attitude. And then it happens to you. It just happens to you.
Yeah,
you think guys leaving the bars that are drinking and all fucked up, they don't think they can get a DUI. Then here's the fucking cops. Now they got a DUI. Now they lost their fucking license.
I think everybody.
Think
ultimately everybody knows when they get in a car drunk. They know the risk that they're taking.
I'll introduce you to some of my dad's friends that do it every day. The guy that trained me in plumbing would drive to work 6 a.m. drinking a 6-pack. Drive home drinking in the car, drinking a 6-pack. On the way home, he'd get a 12-pack every day, every single day.
That's crazy.
But it's a different generation of people, for one, and two, it happens everywhere, everywhere. I
suppose it's crazy.
And why do you think they have all these seatbelt stops, dude? You know how much money is, and not up to seatbelts. That's just that's not even a ticket. That's a fine. You know how much coke and weed and suspended licenses and warrants.
I got pulled over and got busted in a traffic stop like
dude,
that.
It's nonstop. Mm-hmm. So I would hope that has corrected a lot of the problem. And I don't agree with those stops because what is my seatbelt affecting anybody in the world at all for? Sure. But I mean, it's that's what the truth of it is. That's why they're doing it.
I know.
They make a lot of money off of it.
Absolutely.
Lots of money off of it. When there's 20 cops somewhere, they're being paid. The force couldn't afford to put 20 cops not patrolling their town
right.
in one area, pulling people over. I love the guy that's not in his cop outfit by the light telling the blue car, and then when you go, then you see the cops and you put your seatbelt on real fast and they're like, no, asshole.
Yeah,
we've already got you, asshole. like our gathering story where they had that camera on that fucking goddamn do not enter sign or whatever. We got popped there. My bong, my purple, my Stacy Keebler bong, gone. You know how much weed was smoked out of the Stacy Keebler bong?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So that was my repack. That was my
Very good.
repack,
Yeah,
so.
and again, this is back and forth. We could probably go on for hours about random stuff.
Hey, and
but
listen,
I think we definitely both agree.
I would love the debate. So if anyone out there is listening and they want to call in on Skype, you can hit us up. ITR live on Skype.
It's a weird debate. It's a lot like the debate of religion, or even like Republican or Democrat. Both sides will just sit there and spit back and forth.
That's what we're here for. I got time.
Yeah, but even like we were saying before, it's evolution of consciousness, man. It's like you have to hear at some point you want to go, well, there is an answer to things, man, and just arguing points is silly. It's just silly because
that's what talk radio is, man.
Oh no, I know, but not all talk radio, man. This is a talk radio show I listen to where the rule on the show is once enough points have been brought up, you have to take one side or the other. And if you don't see the side of it, we're gonna make fun of you for being an idiot and not being able to fucking understand anything.
Well, sure, yeah, but I mean, I can defend. That's just it. I have. It's not that I just have thoughts and I don't have a way to defend them. I have my opinions and I have my reasons for my opinions and I can back them up with facts and statistics, and I could battle back and forth. But at the end of the day, sure, I suppose someone could be able to convince me that guns are good, but
you do need them for protection in some aspect. Guns are good, man. They're not as bad as everybody thinks they are. They're just not.
I can't agree with that, but we have to move on for now.
We don't have to really move on yet. Ultimately, you think about it too, man. If you were mugged 6 times and you lived in Chicago, you would own a gun too. You just would, because that's what ends up happening when it falls in your front lap. You would try to figure it out.
Right. Well,
you don't.
I suppose if you put yourself in situations where you need a gun, well then yeah. But there's plenty of people out here. Yes, in the inner cities where there's gangs and there's teenagers with guns that have been raised improperly. That's what it goes down to. Is I don't have a problem with guns. I have a problem with stupid people having guns. Sure. And there are way more stupid people that have guns than there are intelligent, responsible people that have guns. That's the problem.
But that's somewhat of an ignorant statement because there's millions of gun owners that never shoot anybody, ever.
Right, but it's also locked in their closet or locked in a box under their bed.
Sure, but
for the one time they hear a noise in their house.
1 or 2 murders of these random things like this, and you go, "We need to end guns." It's like that's not.
But it's not. It's not 1 or 2 random. It's 1 or 2 a day, or 4 or 5 a week.
To the millions that own them that aren't doing it. But it's like saying steroids make everybody a maniac. That's not the case. There's millions of people that take them every day that are not maniacs.
Yeah, but
it's the same thing.
If you're the
masses don't. A group of them do. It's just a group of people.
Come on. Just because people don't die because of people being stupid with guns doesn't mean people aren't being stupid with guns.
I'm not saying people aren't being stupid with guns. I don't think we need to eliminate guns because of it. That's my
I agree. Yeah, I understand it.
To lose the Second Amendment's silly.
That's the point where I would come towards the center, so to speak, on is that I understand you can't do away with guns. Doing away with guns, doing away with the Second Amendment is not possible. Like I said, the toothpaste is out of the tube.
It's not a matter if it's possible or not. Do you agree with doing it? Let's say it is possible.
Then I would agree with doing it.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. It was put there for a reason. When we wanted our freedom from Europe, to get away from Europe,
there's a lot of things in there that aren't relevant anymore.
No, you don't think we need freedom from our government to have control over our government? That's more apparent today than ever.
I don't have a hunting rifle all day long.
Sure,
I'm never going to say anything about.
I don't think anybody should own an assault rifle, man.
Assault weapons and handguns. There's no need for them.
Well, then why not handguns? What's the difference?
What are you going to use a handgun for other than to kill another person?
Protection. Maybe you don't want a shotgun in your house.
Then it's not. Then that's not a good enough reason.
And to be honest, I'd rather get shot by a handgun than a shotgun.
Okay, but you know what?
A shotgun will blow a hole in your back.
I agree, but you don't get people going on murderous rampages with shotguns.
Sure, you do.
Not nearly as much. Handguns and automatic. Look at all these.
That dude in Colorado, man, he had an M16.
Right. So it's an assault rifle.
It doesn't matter. The people in Columbine, they had semi-automatics. They didn't have handguns. They had semi-automatics.
I agree.
So it doesn't matter. Single-shot handguns are no different than single-shot barrel guns. There's no difference.
But when the only purpose is protection, that's not a good enough reason.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
You have kids in the house. It's a lot easier to hide a little gun in a safe than a shotgun.
Right. What good does a gun do in a small case under your bed?
They have cases that when you thumbprint them and touch them, they instantly open up and your gun's right there. They have specialized cases for side of your bed. Absolutely.
Okay, but how many people have those?
A lot of gun owners do, man. That's what I mean. You don't know. I listen to Bubba Love so much, who's an avid gun owner. That weekly they talk about guns. I know a lot about guns, and I'm not a gun owner.
Right. I don't see a need for assault weapons and handguns. If you're going to go on a shooting spree, do it with a hunting
anything
rifle.
that shoots multiple bullets in one pull the trigger, I would agree with. Anything that's a single shot is single shot. I think a single shot can be individually owned.
I think leave the handguns to the police.
Yeah, fuck the police.
So,
There's a bunch of jobbers.
Yeah, but you know what? That's because everyone wants to take it into their own hands.
You sometimes have to. The police don't stop crime; they come after the fact. Police don't stop crime.
So you mean to tell me the guy that killed his 16-year-old son, he can't just call the police, keep an eye on the house, make sure nothing's going down,
but that's not the case.
Wait for the police to come to do their job.
That's not the case.
And handle the situation. Nobody dies. Nothing happens.
No, because if it wasn't his son, he'd be a hero. If it was a
Why?
mugger, because if it was his neighbor that was coming over to kill him and he shot him, he'd be a hero. So that's what I mean, man. It's what's the story today?
I don't know, man. I just don't see how death is the answer. How the immediate response is we got to shoot him. The immediate response, shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
That is the majority of people's psyche when it comes to guns, and that in itself is wrong.
Trained gun guys, that's not how they do it, though. It's just not. It's not.
But what
My
you just
father-in-law
described,
is a trained police officer.
right? And if shit went down, he'd start shooting, and then he'd figure out what happened later.
You're first supposed to call out. Anytime you're going to fire your gun, you first give a warning. You always call out to them. I have a gun. I'm going to shoot. At that point, if that kid would have heard that, you don't think he would go, Dad, it's me.
Right.
See, that guy's just an idiot.
Exactly.
But that's one story of millions that didn't do that yesterday.
Okay.
One guy did it.
But that okay.
You want to eliminate guns because of one guy?
No. I want to eliminate guns for multiples of guys.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Look at the statistics on how many people die by guns
I
in
look
this
at
country.
news just as much as you do every day.
The statistics are the statistics.
It doesn't matter.
Dead people, you can add those up. And
Right.
you can figure out
and
why
you also
they died.
add up the day of dead that people are getting gun licenses every single day. There's positive over the negative, 100% over. There's no way that there's more people dying over people that have guns. It's just not.
I don't think the millions of people that have guns need them.
I bet if you look into
you don't need it.
Of the murders, I bet there's more people that aren't licensed gun owners that are doing the murdering than the licensed gun owners.
Right. I think if you live in a
You hear what I said? There's more people that are actually like the gangs that are shooting people or the random guy that has a gun in his house. He's not a licensed gun owner. The licensed gun owners are a lot safer with their guns, man.
Really? Because they're all day long you hear about the guy that gets fired from his job and goes in and starts shooting the place up with his licensed
gun
weapon.
owner.
Yeah.
No, man, you never hear about like Corp, not a licensed gun owner. That guy's crazy. He's never been trained ever with a weapon. Never been to one firing range ever with a weapon. Never had a guy stand over his shoulder and go, aim here and do this ever with a weapon. There's more of him that have the weapons that you have a hard time with than the guys that are licensed.
There are people that aren't yes, you're right. There are more people, and that's the problem.
There's not. I wouldn't say there's more.
If you are licensed and you go through all the proper training and you go through proper channels and you've been screened and yes, you've gone through all that, then yes, I don't have a problem with those people having guns. When you're trained and multiple people have checked off that you're sane,
we agree on that.
There
should be. You should. It's a lot like.
But those people are even fewer than the amount of deaths that are happening. The amount of trained gun owners is probably fewer than the amount of deaths.
You're seeing it more, man. You're looking for it at this point. You're just seeing it more than it actually
is. But wouldn't if there was trained gun owners that were saving the day?
Why would the day? It's
in these situations,
you wouldn't be in a lot of those situations.
Why isn't anyone saving the day in these situations? If of all these millions of people have guns for protection, why are all these things happening?
Again, like I said about the cops come after the fact, after like the robbery, after X amount of thing happens. It just is. It's anybody can save the day after the fact. In the initial instance of things happening, it's usually no one else around, man.
That's just it. There's millions of guns, but never one around when you need it.
I wouldn't say it never happens. Those stories aren't glamorous, dude.
But why not? Wouldn't it be like the
no?
Why?
Because the think tanks push it to these mainstream news.
But the NRA has their own think tanks and spend plenty of money pushing their side of it too. You don't think the NRA would be screaming from the mountaintops that did you see this guy with the gun that saved all these children from this mass murderer? They would be screaming that from the fucking mountaintops.
Again, it doesn't occur because most of the time these people that are being preyed on or being robbed aren't gun people. They're just not, man. When you think about it, the store clerk that's standing there that gets robbed at gunpoint is not a gun owner. It's not.
Right.
It's just not. They're not walking into my dad's house.
But he's probably that store owner's probably got a gun, and he may make a decision to take someone's life when that.
If you have a gun in your hand and someone's going to rob you, you wouldn't shoot them.
No. If I had a gun in my hand and someone was going to rob me,
yeah.
No,
I would blow their fucking head off.
No, see, I'm not going to take another person's life. That's just it.
I don't give a fuck.
Just because you're trying to rob me,
you're that much of an animal.
I don't need my shit that much. That's the same reason I don't lock my car.
Yeah,
I don't lock my car because I don't. You know what? If you want my shit, you're gonna get it.
One of my bosses was walking home from work the other day and got hit in the face with a chain and robbed at gunpoint by these two dudes. They found out later it wasn't a gun; it was just a stick. And in his jacket. If that guy had a gun, I would have shot those fuckers. So she hitting me in the face with a chain. Fuck yes, I'm shooting you. I'm fucking killing you instantly.
That's the leap that doesn't make sense to me. I can't comprehend that's the leap.
We are animals at heart, dude. We're savages at heart. Our initial makeup is savages.
Then that's exactly why we shouldn't have deadly weapons.
No.
Because you don't make the right decision in the moment.
To me and a lot of people, even in the court
How can you justify it? How can you justify taking a man's life because he hit you in the face with a chain?
Someone walks into your home and they have a gun. Let's just say, let's step it up. They have a gun and they have a gun in your face. You're not going to fire back at them.
Okay, fine. But if I get mugged and somebody whips me in the face with a chain, I'm not killing them. And they have a gun at you at
gunpoint. You're not going to kill that person.
First of all, if I have a gun on me and someone's going to come up on me like that, by the time I reach for my gun, they're going to shoot and kill me anyway.
Not really.
So
maybe
how would that not be?
Because maybe they don't see it. Like this guy was in an alley, a dark alley. They hit him with a fucking chain, and they started, give me your fucking money. He was reaching his pockets, grabbing his money. He couldn't reach back and grab a gun.
Sure, I suppose.
And you pull out, you shoot him. You wouldn't do that.
I don't see taking another person's life.
He's going to take your life, though.
No, he's not. He's just going to take my shit.
You don't know that. He has a gun pointed at you.
But more often than not, they just want your shit.
Nah, man.
That's why when you work at a gas station, they tell you, somebody comes in and wants the money, you step back, you give it to them, you let them do whatever they want, take whatever they want.
Of course,
you don't confront them because they're going to take the shit that they want and they're going to move on. They're not looking to die that night.
Mark my words.
Just because they're robbing you doesn't mean they're looking to die.
In that situation, if you had a gun, you would pull the trigger. You just would, because it's your life over theirs, and you're not going to die.
Unless
you're not going to fucking die.
If I felt I was legitimately threatened, like yes, if I felt like if I looked at him and I felt like I was going to die, sure, of course, anyone would defend themselves.
And that's my point.
But most of these guys, most of these punk kids that are mugging people, they're not looking to do anything other than just take your shit, get your iPhone, get your fucking money, get your wallet, get your chains, get your watch. That's what they want.
There needs to be restrictions on things, yes, but to eliminate it doesn't need to be eliminated. There's too much other shit that we can focus on first that should be eliminated before guns. There's way more big government that we can focus on before this random shootings of people. So
I suppose,
from Manchurian candidates on, there's so much goofy shit in this world that we live in, man.
I think you can go. I guess the way I look at it ultimately is, man, I believe we only get one shot at this thing called life.
Of course,
you only get one shot.
Of course,
and when it's over, it's over. And to take another person's life is a pretty fucking serious decision that people make in split seconds, and more often than not, I feel they make the wrong decision and the unnecessary decision.
Opinion.
And ending someone's life is a very fucking major decision.
If it's my life over theirs, I'm ending theirs first.
Sure,
every single time.
Absolutely. But there are plenty of instances where your life isn't threatened, where you make a bad decision with a gun, and someone loses their life.
For instance, when we first went into this house, I heard like a rattle, something banging against my door. So I came back here. I had all this construction shit in the room we're sitting in now. So it was like this was the storage room. And I came back here. I grabbed this heavy ass fucking pole. I had this pole. I was like Jimmy and shit with. I didn't have a gun, but I thought somebody was outside my window trying to get into my fucking house. I walked out. I was gonna kill that person. I didn't give a fuck who that. I was gonna whack them over with this fucking ball. I was gonna hit them several times so their brains were all over my tree. Because what are you doing on my property? What are you doing trying to get into my house? I walked outside. It was a branch scraping the side of my fucking house. So it was nothing. But I'll tell you what, I was going out there to fucking do damage.
Exactly.
I was going to fuck that whole... I have a family here, and you're walking into my personal space, and I'm going to wreck your world for bothering me today. My car got robbed out here. All my shit got stolen out there. My iPod, all my cords, all my stuff. And I found they were 16-year-old kids. I would have wrecked them, too. Wrecked their whole world. I don't give a fuck how old you are, because you're in my space. It's just how it is, man.
I suppose...
I'm not crazy for that. I'm not.
But you think you're not, but ultimately... if in that instance, there's a good chance you go to jail for the rest of your life.
It's the rule that if they're in your property or they fall into your house and you beat them in your house, they're in your house.
Right. But in your story, you go outside to confront them. That's a whole different fucking situation.
Sure.
So, I mean, ultimately, I guess, ultimately, do I understand that instinct of I'm going to fuck you up? I just think I pause and I say, taking a person's life is a fucking really major thing to do. And if I'm going to make that decision, I want to make sure that I can live with myself the rest of my life. If I
split decision might get you dead one day. Just saying.
Sure, I suppose.
I've already given it.
But I
enough
guarantee you, I don't put myself in situations where that's going to be an issue.
You leave the house, don't you? It could happen. You can bet your banking,
sure,
and someone could come in with a gun and open fire.
Right, and same thing. And I could get in a car accident driving to work.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. So to even talk about this, to make legislation over it, to make changes over it, is silly.
Well, we make legislation and laws and rules over driving, right? Because it affects everyone else.
And I agree that the law should be changed as far as how to get them, and then once you get them, future training. Not only screening, training. Mm-hmm. The screening is one part. That's the first part.
Sure.
There should be years more of, like, for instance, if you get a boat, every year you have to re-register, right? You get a car, every year you got to re-register. I agree with 1,000% of that. Assault rifles, no. If more than one bullet comes out in one pull of a trigger, no, because you don't need it. You ultimately don't need it. Sure. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. But again, this is that weird conversation of. Like religion, where Jesus exists. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. So this might be boring to some of our listeners, but we could definitely go on and on about this all day long.
We did kill about a half hour, though, at least.
46 minutes. Holy shit. So, my boring-ass Great America story didn't last that long.
Right.
Something. Well, I mean, it's like anything else. Why don't we... This seems to be a favorite segment of ITR. I get some feedback from friends, and they seem to really enjoy this. So, we're going to go to this right now.
5, 4, 3, 2. Gutes Freizeit. Werbung der Heimat. 5, 4, 3, 2. 1.
Oh, that can only mean one thing. That's the top 5 countdown.
Top 5 Billboard R&B hits.
So last time we thought we were getting it, we did adult contemporary, and we both thought for sure we were going to hate it.
Dude, not only that, I played that song Drive by Train like 100 times.
Right?
It's like my song of the week
That
now.
Maroon 5 song is fucking great too, right? Whoa, dude. Knocked out.
Oh,
yeah. He was out on his feet, and then he just got hit like
Rosenthal just got
boom.
It's hard to like take an uppercut and survive.
Right. Sorry, black guy. I don't know which guy that is.
Other guy besides him. Okay, so here we are, top 5.
Top 5 R&B from the Billboard charts.
I used to, in high school, I loved R&B.
Oh.
Jodeci,
any
of that shit.
I hated it all. I've always hated it.
I loved, like, because we heard it. We were the initiator. Like, our generation was the first initiators of it. When rap and R&B would like cross over.
That's different.
I loved like Ashanti, like even her and like Ja Rule. I loved all that. Dude.
I don't mind singers doing the hooks for rap songs. That I don't mind. R&B singers doing
a
hooks
lot of money
for rap songs it makes good music. I'm fine with that. But just singing motherfuckers, I don't need it.
After I noticed some of the names that are on some of these songs, I think you're going to be surprised at some of the people, and you're probably going to like it because I think they fit in the music that you like the Lil Wayne world of people. These guys are on his shit.
Sure, yes.
Now, when you listen and you actually listen to their whole song, you might like it.
I bet I could name a couple. I'm sure Chris Brown is on the list somewhere.
He's number 5.
Of course he is. I would say. Maybe like an Alicia Keys is on there somewhere.
No, but that's a good guess.
But she
hasn't come out. Yeah, no. Think of more like Drake, for instance, is in 2 of them.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, so again, it's a guy that you might think you don't like it, but when you
listen, then there's a good chance.
That's what I mean.
You
might like some of it, but it's R&B and it has that beat.
And it's weird because like Drake is the first guy. You talk about R&B and rap. He was kind of the first guy to be able to do both himself. Like that's the unique thing about Drake is that he can sing and rap. Which is crazy.
I was on tour with Blaze. Blaze turned me on to B.O.B. and I do kind of like some. B.O.B.'s got to be.
B.O.B. is amazing.
But is he R&B?
No, he's
got to be right.
I don't know what they consider. Yes, I think they play him on hip hop stations all the time.
It doesn't. He's a crossover. His music
is
not rap.
It's hip hop. It's not rap. It's hip hop. And it's definitely in the hip hop genre. So
we're gonna pause the top 5 and we're just gonna play a little B.O.B. and just see exactly what it is.
I think you're gonna be surprised. Like especially anything off his new CD, is rap. I mean, it's hip hop.
I can't even think of the fucking name of his shit. What do I know?
Just type in B.O.B. and
B.O.B. I like this song.
Okay, this is definitely an R&B song.
And this is now, mind you, I've only heard this album. Oh, commercial.
Okay,
Let me pause that shit.
So he definitely okay. I'll tell you another one to put in, and you'll.
This is as R&B as it gets.
Yes, this is his R&B. This is basically his first album, which was more of an R&B album anyway. But yeah, this is a great song.
Great song. This whole album is really, and I'm like I said, I am not into this kind of music at all. But I can put this whole album on and sit back and enjoy this.
His new album's even better, I think.
I'm sure this is another guy that farts in the middle of his sleep at night and he makes a hit. All right, fuck it. So you know what? We're gonna have plenty of R&B to listen to, so we can just blow right on into the R&B list. So coming in at number 5 is Brandy with Chris Brown.
Brandy is still around and relevant?
I mean, Brandon won state in like 1999, 98, 99.
Uh-huh.
And we were me and my buddy Sean were smoking weed out in my car listening to Brandy.
Brandy and Monique, The Boy Is Mine.
The Boy Is Mine. That may have been the song, but I don't know if it was. It was definitely on Brandy's.
You and your buddy were like holding hands, smoking weed?
No, we were just high as shit in my car, and it was a nice day, and we were listening to some badass songs.
Brandy and Monique, Jesus. All right, so
remember, there's a rule. We have a rule.
We'll give it to the hook.
We give the first verse into the chorus, and then after the chorus, we come back in. So we're not enjoying it yet. So don't think we're just listening to it to enjoy it.
And listen in the background, because if we really hate it, the shit sounds will start.
We have multiple shit noises at this point, so here you go. Brandy, Put It Down, number 5.
I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down.
If you put it down right, like the way I want it, play it cards right, maybe we can fall in love. If you put it down, if you put it down, maybe we can fall in love.
I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love.
If you put it, maybe we can fall in love.
I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'ma put it down, you gon' fall in love.
If you put it, maybe we can fall in love. Oh, you're talking so tough, damn, I love it all. Even the way you flex, that's what turns me on. Oh, you know you make me weak, just cause the way you are. Cause everybody in it know that you're a star. And still I'm letting you know I got the sweetest heart. Any man that wants to stay, you gon' have to work hard. From what I see, you got what I want, that's just half the part. Gotta see what you put on it to make sure you're the one. If you put it down right, like the way I want it, play it cards right, maybe we can fall in love. If you put it down, if you put it, maybe we can fall in love.
Yeah, garbage.
It's garbage. It's everything I hate about certain. Like if I turn on FM radio, this is playing.
Yes, definitely. This
channel.
is on 105.9, and I fucking hate it.
Well, you know what? I think we both can
She's
agree.
not even really that hot anymore.
Go away. She was cute. She had an appeal to her, but I never thought she was hot.
Right.
Ever hot. So ultimately, I think we agree on this.
Yeah, garbage. Yeah, I think that song really sucks.
Yeah, that sucks, and it will never be played on my computer ever again. Fuck you, Brandy.
Goodbye,
Get off
Brandy.
my shit. Now, I mean, so the next song, you can check it out now. We have An Awesome View.
Oh, this is on the R&B charts?
It's not only on it, it's number 4.
This is a definite rap song. This is on the top of the rap charts too. This is an incredible song, actually.
That's just it. I think you're somewhat confused by some rap because these are all gelled together. A lot of the R&B and hip hop gelled together. It depends who's on it.
Yeah,
if Drake's on it,
this
it's
is
hip-hop.
this is French Montana featuring Drake and Rick Ross.
If anybody knows, we can't argue with Billboard.
Yeah, unless now maybe this is originally an R&B song, and this isn't what I'm thinking it is, and they remixed it with Rick Ross and put some rap to it, and they played it on the rap stations.
It's got Rick Ross on it. It's got all those guys you just
yeah,
said. Okay,
because this is definitely a rap song in my opinion.
Well, but again, it's your opinion over Billboard.
Yeah, I can't
it's
believe
an R&B song. That's why you might like
R&B.
more what is R&B.
Holy shit! This top 5 countdown thing is blowing my fucking mind.
this is what's so great about this because I want to open my mind to other music because I just listen to talk radio, man. Dude, so I literally get whatever they play on out of commercial breaks.
I don't even need to hear it. I'm already digging this song. This song is that good, dude. I'm telling you, it's that good.
Wow. Number 4, I can't seem to get.
It's French Montana, Pop That, featuring.
How come it's not?
I believe it's Lil Wayne, Drake, and Rick Ross, who all 3 fucking kill this song.
Personal opinion. And begin.
Drop that pussy, bitch. What you twerking with?
Bounce up, young pop, champagne, they know the face and they know the name.
Drop that pussy, bitch. What you twerking with? Work, 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 bounce, work, work, work. What you twerking with? Work, 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 bounce, work, work, work. What you twerking with? What you twerking with? Bust it over, show me what you twerk with. Ass so good, need a lap dance. I'm in that white ghost, chasing Pac-Man. 100 out the lot, I'll be leading, that's a rock. 100 large, bring a mop, cars tinted like a rock. Got a brain struck in my pocket, 30 chains on my collar. 2 drops, no mileage. Top off like Wallace, and I'm the hell smoke, bitch, know that. Filthy rich before that. You new deal, I throw that. 3 beans, I'm on that. We pop a molly, she bust it up. She see the Gotti, that pussy sucks.
Okay, so you can't judge this song because French Montana sucks.
Well, no, I heard this song earlier. I did step out of the room to get a beer, but I did hear this song earlier while I was setting this whole thing. I had to play a lot of this song.
This fat motherfucker Rick Ross is incredible.
Yeah, it's. I'm hit or miss. I'm hit or miss on these guys. I can take it or leave it. You know what I think I'm over, man? I'm over the "We're millionaires, dog." I'm over that. I've heard those songs to death.
Then you really hate these guys.
I really
then I can understand because, but lyrically, like the way that they go to the beat, I think Rick Ross, particularly Rick Ross and Drake, are as sick of lyricists as there are.
Yeah. It almost sounds like it's like. It's not copycat. So when I say this, it's not like I'm saying they're copycat, but they're not. It's just there's only so many ways to rap about being rich, and I've heard it. I've heard it.
To me, I think they keep reinventing how cool, new ways to talk about how cool and rich they are. But
they're not.
Yeah,
when I hear it, I just go,
see, I listen to this all day long. They play this song once every 2 hours at least on Hip Hop Nation.
I'm sure it's more than that. If you clocked it, it'd probably
between
be more
Hip Hop
than
Nation and Shade 45 on Sirius, it's all over.
Yeah, those stations I bet play a lot of R&B that you don't know is R&B. Because when you go through this line, if you went to the top 20, I think it goes through like top 100. But I only do the top 5. It's all this.
I can't believe this is classified as R&B. That blows my mind.
Well, I mean, here, look, I'll go to the list. Number 6, Drive-In by Trey Songz. You ever heard Trey Songz?
Yeah, he's R&B for sure.
Beyonce. Yeah. I don't even know if she's R&B. I thought she was something else. Top 40. Is top 40 R&B?
Bands that make her dance, that is a fucking strip club song. That's R&B? That's crazy.
R&B so wide. Kesha.
It's crazy. Juicy J, if he knew Birthday, no way. 2 Chainz. Okay, see, I apparently like R&B, and I didn't know.
2 Chainz is also number 3 on this.
That's incredible. That guy's a rapper.
So, look,
his name used to be Titty Boy.
It doesn't matter if you're a rapper, because R&B and hip hop gel together. That's what I'm saying. Like, so any minute you could have a hit on the R&B charts, or you could have it on the hip hop charts.
That's
at any minute.
Crazy.
The one thing you have to admit from these last 2 is that you don't really know what you like. You like a lot of music. You just like music, and if it's played in the right atmosphere, you'll like it. Yes or no?
There's a lot of shit that I don't like.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if I were to say a month ago, man, let's listen to the adult contemporary station, you go, fuck off. Well, at least now you'd go, I got a cool story about that. And you would be open to it.
I suppose.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
And that's what this countdown's going to do for both of
Oh,
us.
I see who's number 2, and he's literally my least favorite artist on planet fucking Earth right now. I'm about to go on a rant about this. Well, I'll wait till we get to number 2.
We're at 4, and we still got to talk about 4. So you've already given your ding.
I love this song. It's very good.
I'm going to give it this. Uh-oh. Turn it all the way down. Or no, you got to turn that up, and I got to do this. I'm doing 100 things at once here. Shut up. I fucking hate Lil Wayne. Here's what I think about you, Lil Wayne, and your whole song. Go wear some skinny jeans on the MTV Awards, faggot. Fucking hate Lil Wayne.
Man,
I hate everything about him. I hate his demeanor. I hate his face. I hate his tattoos on his face. And I hate everything about this guy. I literally hate him.
I didn't know you felt that strongly about him. Because I love Lil
I don't
Wayne.
really delve into this world, but I know Lil Wayne, and I don't like him. I just don't like him.
Interesting.
Whenever I see a guy in, like I say, skinny jeans that are sagged down to his knees, and I have sagged jeans, so it's not a sag jean, but when I see that crotch and it's like 3 feet wide with it's like MC Hammer pants in jeans.
I agree.
Who likes that?
Which is funny because listening to the radio, like I don't ever watch videos. I don't watch MTV. So Lil Wayne to me is a voice only. Like I know what he looks like, of course, but I don't focus on what he looks like. I just listen because lyrically that motherfucker is incredible.
It's funny you're saying that. So remember that I played that mashup of "We Are Young." Mm-hmm. So I was telling Brandon about it when we were at Great America, and as we saw because they were playing the "We Are Young" video on while you're waiting in line, and he goes, "That's what that guy looks like." God, I hate this fucking song. There's something about it, like when you see somebody or when you just hear them.
Yeah.
It can change your entire opinion on that person.
Sure. I get that. I get that totally.
Yeah. So and like this shitty guy just doing like I'm cool. I have this.
That's
thing
French
on
Montana.
Yeah, fuck
he
you,
sucks.
dude. Fuck
He's
you.
fucking garbage. I agree.
And again, you'll never be played on my computer again unless you fall in the countdown. Then I have to pay you. Fuck off.
Or if I play him in my song choice for the break.
Sure. I don't listen to that much either. I usually doing something else on break. That's why we combined. And Brandon goes, "You motherfuckers with your 2 songs now."
We got shit to do on
We got
breaks.
shit to do, but
We're trying to set up the next segment, motherfuckers.
What I've done now, and it's a work in progress. When the song, cause, songs usually like the last minute is just trailing off. Once it gets to the point where the song's done, I hit that little mix, and then the song coming in, I cut out the first bullshit of that song too. So I'm cutting it down. You're not getting, you're getting 90% of all the songs instead of 100.
Brandon,
so fuck off.
Brandon, just keep working out and listen to us. We'll entertain you. We'll tell you what's entertaining. Tell us.
This is where because he listens to like the app, so there's no going through it. Right. I download it and then I'll go back and listen to it, and I can skip through all I want.
See, I listen to it on the.
To our fans, download it because then you can have it carte blanche, however you want to listen to it. But if you're gonna listen to the app, you got to deal with it. Sorry about your luck. You know what? Enjoy the song.
Right?
Sit back and enjoy it.
I listen to good music. I'm trying to open your fucking minds. So, all right, moving on. This is another good song. I'm going to ding it already. I already
2 Chainz,
like it. But this is an
No
old
Lies,
song. I've heard this song for a while now. I can't believe
featuring Drake, number 3 on the Billboard charts. This has 19 million hits on it.
It's a great song.
Coming out in June 21st.
Mm-hmm. It's the summer. It was basically the summer anthem.
Your summer anthem.
No, everyone's summer anthem.
Kids' summer anthems. Like
people that listen to this genre of music.
Sure.
Their summer anthem.
You know what I'm saying, though. But country people had a summer anthem, and I'm sure
those
it was
people are
shit
stupid.
kickers. That's what, and they think you're stupid.
I don't give a shit.
That's what I mean. It's just,
I have the
opinion.
microphone. This is my show.
And begin.
Yeah.
2 Chainz. That's my favorite part of this song. Ready? There it is.
He looks like a parody,
I've never seen him before. This is actually the first time I've ever seen him. I've never seen a video.
He looks like a Dave Chappelle parody.
He's give you a little bit of background. He's signed to Kanye West's label. He's like Kanye West's new star.
Another guy that if he was performing across the street, I would close my windows. Kanye West can fuck himself.
Real? Oh,
fuck him. Now I'll say he makes good music,
yes.
but his outward persona, it's like Lauryn Hill saying, "I don't want white people to buy my CDs." Okay, I'm not buying your shit anymore. Like he's one of those guys where he just too much of him turned me off.
I say fuck you unless I'm with you. If I take you out of the picture, I know real niggas won't miss you. No lie, no lie, no lie, yeah, yeah. No lie, no lie, no lie, yeah. Real niggas say word, you ain't never told no lie. You ain't never told no lie. Real niggas say word, you ain't never told no lie. You ain't never told no lie. Real niggas say true, you ain't never told no lie. You ain't never told no lie. That's the thing I don't do. Nah, I just do it for the niggas that are trying to see a million for they die. What up? 2 chains and champagne, you want true, that's true enough. Forbes list like yeah, my office is my tour bus. She came through, she brought food, she got fucked, she knew what's up. She think I'm the realest out, and I say, damn, that makes 2 of us. Oh, that look like what's her name? Chances are it is what's her name. Chances are if she was acting up, then I fucked her once and never fucked again. She could have a Grammy, I still treat her ass like a nominee. Just need to know what that pussy like, so one time is fine with me. Young ass an intern, with money like I built the shit. Streets talking that confirm, go ask them who just kept the shit. Stay keeping my cup full, so I'm extra charged like a state tax. Me and Chains go way back, we don't talk shit, we just say facts. Yes, Lord. I say fuck you unless
I'll be honest, I like it. I think it's a good song. I definitely would give this a ding and ding and dingy.
Yeah.
Why do I have to imitate it?
Right. That's why we have the bell. Letting it ride out.
Let it ride out. I like it. I actually like it.
I'm telling you, man, Drake is real good. That guy's fucking
And like I said,
talented.
it's not against Drake. It's when you group to like the Lil Wayne, even like Rick Ross. He's not bad. I just don't really like him.
You don't like his shtick.
I don't like his shtick, yeah, but I think he looks cool as shit. And I think if he was an MMA fighter, he'd be one of my favorites.
Who, Rick Ross?
Yeah.
He's a big fat motherfucker, too. And I love the fact that he's like one of those fat guys that doesn't mind showing everybody's fat because he's always got his fucking shirt off. He looks like a fucking beached whale.
It's his gimmick.
But
right.
yeah, he's all tattooed. His belly's huge and tattooed. He looks so awkward.
I think if you're going to have a big fat belly, you should have it tattooed. Just saying.
Well, I'm too much of a pussy.
You're not really. You're not Rick Ross.
I wish I was Rick Ross. First of all, his beard is awesome.
his beard is pretty rugged.
Yeah,
he does win the Beard of the Year award.
and he gets. See, I have a beard, but mine it starts to get like necro butchery and it doesn't like his is all curly and it forms to his face. Oh, I wish
you
I
gotta
could
realize
have,
though.
He's a black guy. I get it.
No. But you comb it out. And then you gel it up a little bit. You comb it out and gel like you primp it a little bit. But you're not seeing him in the morning. Trust me, that shit's all. I lived with Darnell. Darnell's shit in the morning was all fucked up. Then he comb it in. It was fucking great. You got to primp it up a little bit. Clean the shit up a little bit.
I don't have time for that.
If you did, it would look just like that.
I agree.
Beards don't grow in rugged. They got to be kind of taken care of a little bit.
Yeah,
trust me.
Rick Ross wins the beard award for sure. Okay, so that was number 3.
That was number 3.
Number 3. Number 2. I'm telling you, is the worst motherfucker. I think he might be worse than country music. And that's saying a lot for me. Wow. I can't stand this motherfucker. He goes by the name of Future. And this is the epitome. This song, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me, man. They play it all day long, and I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it, but he does have the Chicago skyline in the background. Is that what that is? Can I assume? Is he from Chicago?
I believe he's from Atlanta. Oh. So.
Well, Atlanta. The King and Queen building, what up? I saw you guys several times. Fuck off.
Yeah, this guy is auto-tune-alicious, and I fucking sucks.
Hate auto-tune.
Wait till you hear him. You're going to hate this guy. I guarantee it. I don't know much about... Clearly, I'm confused by your musical taste, because I thought for sure you were going to like that other song. But
I like the last song.
But... I'm fairly certain you're going to hate this.
Yeah, no. And my musical taste, dude, it's more... It comes from, like... Put it this way. If you could play me a badass country song with a badass story and not my dog got ran over by my mom and my uncle and my thing, that isn't a cool story to me. I mean, somewhere I can listen to it and you can go, no, listen to this. I'm cool with all that. Then
like
the next step,
there's that one Dixie Chicks song where they talk about killing the dude.
Yes.
That song, okay.
It's cool, right?
Right, because it's different.
What song is that? I know what you're talking about. Earl
something. But yeah, that song, that's probably the only country song
that's what I
used
to tolerate. My 2-year run of a country fan, that song came out.
But that song is different than anything else you hear. It's almost a parody of a country song.
If you listen to country, though, it really is. Like if you listen to any Kenny Chesney song and had a cold beer on a beach, you'd probably like Kenny Chesney. It's environment when you get the music pitched to you.
I suppose.
You know,
my brother's tried selling me on it. I'm not having it.
It's not one of those things you can have it thrown on you. You got to be on a beach sipping something really cold and have an awesome climate and waves, and then you go,
"Oh, of course, I can listen to anything at that point."
This is great.
I could listen to a fucking pig squeal and I'd probably enjoy it.
Dude, beaches. We need to do ITR on a beach.
Don't bust me up. Dude.
I know. Man, IT on
Listen,
a
I'm
beach
the
would be
single guy with no kids. I'm ready to go whenever.
It's not the kids that it's the whole job situation.
Oh, sure, yeah, well, that too. But all right, let's hate this real quick. So we can move
number
on, 'cause
two
I
coming
hate
in.
this
Now,
stuff.
mind you, number 2 means he's number 2.
Oh, he's very popular. Very popular.
Future.
Club
I think
people
they're
love him.
running out of names at this point. It's like they're running out of names.
Yeah. Fuck this guy.
Future.
Fuck Future. Fuck you.
Hey, well, let's just hear it out. We have at least a minute or
Get the
half.
shit sounds ready.
Right, and go.
Mike will manage.
Is that her in the VIP line with the V-Time and the East Laurent? Used to drive the Nissan, now she in the Beamer. I don't want her, cause she from the corner. And I heard that Beamer was a loner. Her old man the owner, and I don't even drink Corona.
I can't even really. I'm going to point out. This is what I mean about guys that are just bragging about money. Like the minute I hear it, I go, I've heard this before.
This guy is strip clublicious, and that's the thing.
I don't mind strip clubs, but I gauge it on this. If I'm at a club, will I dance to this? No, I don't want to dance to this.
I agree,
and I'll cut a fucking rug. It ain't about that.
Sure,
it's this sucks.
No, but this is they make music for strippers to dance to, and this is this.
I'm cool with that too, but I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, I agree. He sucks, and the auto tune, I don't need it.
But in all reality, he's not that different than a lot of people that are doing this right now.
Sure, yeah.
Same cadence to his voice.
I agree.
Same story being told. It's a girl and he wants her, but he can't get her. He can.
I know.
He's got money.
He's got money.
I mean, it's the same
his homies
story.
are cool.
Yeah, he's got a backwards hat. You know, I saw this once.
Right.
You know,
snapbacks.
Yeah, they're playing dice.
You know how you know he's a douche because he's wearing a fucking snapback hat backwards.
No, but
that's
dude,
the sign of a
kids,
douche.
Though they see us with the fitted caps backwards, and we're douches.
Fuck them.
This is what happens though. Every 10 years it changes. It just changed. Remember, like the kids that were older than us wore sweatpants every day to school. We thought that was gay, so we wore jeans.
Right.
Like, it's just what happens. So I don't have to like it, but agreed. But when you shit on it, you're not a hipster. We're out of the hipster world now.
Okay.
I know.
I don't like them either.
When we get together, we make magic. He couldn't get a whiter black chick in this video.
Oh, God, how do you have a recording concert? That one sounds wet.
It's actually called disgusting juicy fart.
Yeah, that one is. That's diarrhea.
That's my favorite.
That one's pretty good too. It's so crazy because Brandy is the only song that I thought was what I coming into this what I thought was R&B. That's what I thought was R&B.
This is R&B, dude. It is.
I can't believe that.
Okay, maybe we need to define R&B a little bit. It stands for what?
Rhythm and blues.
Okay, so there's a rhythm, right? The blues. I mean, I think it's that almost means black guy. Like it doesn't really mean but. I think if there's a beat and you're just jamming, that's almost rhythm and blues. And even like laid back raps, it's not hip hop where you're fucking hip hopping. It's not. Right. It's just not. Even that song we heard of Lil Wayne, that's not hip hop. That's rhythm and blues.
Oh man,
it's just what it is.
I am so out of touch.
Yeah, fuck you. So I mean, just so we're on the same page. I mean, I think we both agree with this.
Yes.
That's the official knock for it, but then we'll have the fart noises during it from a soundboard.
There you go.
We overuse it. It's not that cool anymore. Agreed, right?
Right. So last is Miguel.
You ever heard of Miguel?
I have heard of him on other. He's done hooks for rappers.
That seems to be the key too. If you want to make it in the rocks and blunts department, you almost got to do it like a rapper's hook and have like an awesome one, and then you just bloop. Like Ashanti, like I said earlier today. Like, where's she at today?
Right.
Is she around? Is she?
No.
I don't know.
Ashanti.
Like Ja Rule's chick.
No.
See, all she had to do is she came out and did an awesome little hook. Remember, like Dido on the Eminem song came out and was like,
but
wow,
she's
she's
never done anything
awesome.
after
No, but then you realize it's some white chick that sucks.
Yeah.
If you just stay in that little world and you just recreate those cool little 2 seconds that you got to come in and sing, you can make a lot of money.
That's how Drake's made a shitload of money, singing hooks for everybody else.
Yeah, that's the key. But I bet you, like, I remember we were asking Jay about that. Like, you know, when you do collaborations, you know, what goes where, and it's kind of weird to ask guys about how money goes. And I didn't want to know about the money. I just wanted to know, like, when you make an album, do they get cuts of it? And he said, no, it's a flat fee. When someone comes in and does a hook, they just get a flat fee.
Correct.
They don't get royalties.
Yep.
So
you're paying for their services.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
And so basically how it works is, literally how it works is, you say you're an up-and-coming rapper, and you want to have a hit. So you go to Drake's label, and you say, I want to get Drake on my song. And they're like, okay, that's like $100,000 flat. And that comes out of your budget for making the album. And that's why the prices are actually Lil Wayne. It's like Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. It's like $500,000.
Do you know where it all started organically? And I might be making this up, so this is when I remember it. But I like Snoop Dogg when he first came out with Dre, and he was literally, he wasn't like they weren't. It wasn't like today things are planned. Oh, you'll come out with this guy, and then this will happen, and then this will sell. Remember he came out with Dre, and they did that one song where it was like real dark. Remember, it wasn't Dre. It was after Dre Day. It was like a movie.
Murder Was the Case.
It wasn't Murder Was the Case though. There's. I'll find it and I'll play it later. But ultimately, then Snoop Dogg came out with an album. And remember how fucking awesome My Name, or not My Name? What's that first Snoop Dogg?
Doggy Style.
Doggy Style.
Doggy Style's incredible,
dude. Incredible to this day. You go back. And
Death Row Records. You could say The Chronic, Doggy Style, and in my opinion, the Dog Pound's Dog Food. Were
what's that?
The Dog Pound, Corrupt and Daz.
What's their big song? I'm drawing a blank.
They had the New York with Snoop Dogg. That was probably their biggest hit.
Okay.
But nevertheless, it was like they were like the young guys on Death Row, and they had an awesome record. It was like those were Dre produced all 3 of those records, and those are just like the 3 ultimate Death Row Records albums, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think anything with Dre can produce one hell of a beat. So
well, there's a reason why on the list of highest paid hip hop artists last year, Dr. Dre was far and away the number one at $110 million last year.
Sit home.
And you know when the last time he put out an album was? 2001.
But I mean, at that point, why would you even touch an album?
He doesn't have to.
'Cause if he doesn't, it sucks. Let's just say it sucks.
Right.
Then all that goes away.
Yep. And that's exactly his fear, and that's why Detox has taken forever to come out, because he's afraid that it won't live up to the hype at this point. So he every time he comes up with a song, he ends up giving it to someone else and letting them put it on their album, and he doesn't have to anymore, because anything he touches is gold.
You're ultimately getting Detox in dosages.
Exactly, you're getting it on other people's albums, because anything he produces is basically.
And this is what'll happen. This is totally, there's no credibility behind this, but this is what'll happen. And then in 10 years ago, I already put out Detox. You guys have already loved it. It's already blah blah blah. I got nothing left in my tank.
Right.
And then you can all go, no, Dre's retired. He's just doing beats, man. He if he just rides this out the rest of his life,
dude,
gazillionaire.
You made $110 million doing nothing. Your money made money. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
That, you know, Eminem and 50 Cent and anything they involve, it's that whole domino that
how many people
pyramid.
are under Eminem?
Jeez, well, right now it's Slaughterhouse. I mean, Shady Records. Anything that comes off that Yellow Wolf guy who was big this year, so he made a bunch of money, which in turn makes Eminem money, which in turn makes Dr. Dre money. I mean, and those fucking headphones.
Oh my god! I bet he made more out of headphones than he made out of anything.
I bet that's where the bulk.
One of my students came in. He had a pair of Beats, but he had like the full
Beats. Those are like $400.
So he came in and I go, man, because you got a pair. So I was like, well, how much do those cost? And he goes, $350.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, these sound. What I'm wearing, these Sonys, they cost $26.
Mm-hmm.
They sound great.
Yeah.
Like how much better could they really sound? It's a work.
It's noise canceling, but though you can get noise canceling.
These are noise canceling.
Yeah.
It said it on the back. It's noise canceling. So don't get me wrong. You're paying for brand.
Sure.
But $350?
Yeah. And people scoop them up
all day long.
Dude.
When we were at the airport going to Mexico last year, they had them in a vending machine for $300. Like imagine like putting $300 in a vending machine.
Well, if I was going to buy headphones, it wouldn't be from a vending machine at the airport.
It's not the airport. It
It's
was the airport, but it was the downstairs store of the airport. It wasn't like so much the airport.
Sure, I understand why they have them there for that person that, I forgot my headphones.
Right.
And
there was also a PlayStation 3. You could literally buy it, put it in, and it would come out like a candy bar. It didn't explode. They had like a dispensary, and it was one of those like turnaround deals, and it turned on and it dropped, and then it just fell on it. Yeah. My boy and I were looking at it like, this is the coolest vending machine I've ever seen, ever.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible.
So Dan Hardy, third round. Nothing's happening that we've seen, but we haven't watched.
And yeah, Amir Sadala is your average jobber guy.
Yeah, fuck Amir Sadala. The fact that this hurts Dan Hardy to not knock him out right away, because Amir Sadala is just your middle range guy.
Can we do this number one song so we can take a real break and I can go take a call from Shawn Michaels?
Miguel Adorn. What's Adorn?
Like you adorn something, like you hang something, like you adorn. I don't know. Like you adorn. I don't know. Let's look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Don't be afraid.
I mean, I know the answer because I'm going to kick myself when I get it.
There's a lot of times you know things and you can explain it, or you can't explain it. You understand it when you hear it.
This is much more R&B in what I thought R&B.
Lil Wayne would rap right over the top of this beat.
Sure.
This guy's got a Vanilla Ice haircut.
Yes, he does. He has like he's from the 50s.
I had that haircut in junior high. Hell yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I was a mark for Zach Morris.
Who wasn't?
It's true.
I'm still a mark for Zach Morris. That
I kinda
Franklin
am,
and Bath, that Franklin and Bath show is incredible. Yeah,
it's kind of the definition of R&B.
R&B. This
right?
is what if someone, a Martian, came down to Earth and came in the studio right now, and I wanted to say, this is what R&B music is, I would play this song.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't hate it. I just don't like it. I'm not going, wow. I want to listen to this later. I'm not going to listen to this later. I can pretty much
I'm not
guarantee
gonna
that.
The definition of adorn is to lend beauty to.
Oh, fuck off. So he's giving beauty to this bitch flipping in his video.
Yes, with his fucking stupid bouffant haircut. Yeah, fuck off. Never gets old.
Ever. Fart noises. Like, I don't care how old you get, fart noises are always
Never.
funny.
Yeah, never gets old. Ooh, Amir Sadala is bleeding heavily from the facial area.
So is that guy's ass.
Yes.
That's a bathtub fart.
Ew. That guy should really get punched for that fucking haircut.
Yeah, and it won't shut off. Thank you. Stop. Jesus. Well, you know what? I can honestly say I don't hate R&B.
No.
I just don't like it.
Yeah. I can honestly say I had no fucking clue what R&B was, because I like, once again, I like.
So what would you give it?
This?
No, but I'm talking about 1 through 5. Put them in a basket and stamp it. Yay or nay?
R&B, I have to, because I liked more than I didn't like. So
Is it one ringy dingy ride
yes,
out?
only because I have to,
Ride
because
it
I
out?
liked most of it. But I thought those were rap songs, I'll be honest.
They're not. Write them out.
I just give it a ding and it was, yeah, that's it.
Close her down.
That's all I can really honestly give it.
Well, I'll say this much about the entire category.
I can't necessarily disagree with that sentiment either.
It reminds me of 1998, and I just don't give a shit about 1998.
Right. I'm over 1998.
Yeah. It's skinny jeans and skater shoes. I think you look like an alien. Stop wearing that. You look silly. So.
Oh, man. So, wow, we've been rocking for an hour and a half now almost. I think it's time to take a little break. Now, we'll listen to some music here. What do you got on tap? Here we go.
I got a little Kendrick Lamar, West Side, played into Ordinary People.
Kendrick Lamar's the shit, people.
Featuring Toothpick. Change my luck.
All right, we'll see you on the other side here on In the Rotation.
Bitch, I need that. 24 acres in a mule, best believe that. They say he got smoke like where the weed at. And everything you hope, bitch, nigga, read at. Pockets on jelly price, back when it was 95. Buy a strap and then we cock it back when it's uncircumcised. Write a rap on how we just react when shotty hit the spine. Give you dap and then we slide through your hood 3 dozen times. So what's good, I'm looking for a pedicure, pink pussy that pop, preferably the kind that don't stink. Bomb ass head till she can't blink and her eyes get watery. You gotta pardon me, I'm so damn turned. Willing in a two-door with 2 hoes that follow me, and you know, west side right on time. Tell them hoes kudos, east side right on time. They don't fuck with you though. When my hood getting to the money, the pedal never broke. Came a long way from the ghetto though, but west side right on time. Only thing for sure, east side right on time. Gunning through your dough,
I woke up this morning like fuck the world. Been hustling since 12, man, I've been through hell. Now these motherfuckers is trying to tell me I don't care. Trying to tell y'all motherfuckers, look, y'all wasn't there. Third posted up on the block waiting for mail. So my niggas posted up in the county praying for bail. Could've cost your boy everything, man, it wasn't cheap. Coming from a nigga just don't sleep. Shit for the week, got on my Malcolm X brain. Now I count the checks, man. Cause every time I speak, you hear my Malcolm X pain. Now them doors go up on that lamb, they like judo. Young, you like your bitches with ass, I like you out. First them bitches see me, I'm gone, I'm like Pluto. Plus I keep them choppers the same, they Mars Bruno. Brown bag full of cash, baby, MCM. When they ask me my name, I tell them MC him, straight up.
I'm so turned, willing in a two-door with 2 hoes that follow me, and you know, west side right on time. Tell them hoes kudos, east side right on time. They don't fuck with you though. When my hood getting to the money, the pedal never broke. Came a long way from the ghetto though, but west side right on time. Only thing for sure, east side right on time. Gunning through your dough, all praise go to the most high. All face turn into a drive-by. Part ways from the streets after fucking with police, guaranteed. Last nigga did that, died. Don't you wanna live with the AK? Go for only 8K, minus 6 racks, minus 1 on top of that. Melee, stumpy mouth and drug him out like a date rape. Daytona's bending every corner while they say I'm so turned. Willing in a two with 2 hoes that follow me, and you know, west side right on time. Tell them hoes kudos, east side right on time. They don't fuck with you though. When my hood getting to the money, the pedal never broke. Came a long way from the ghetto though, but west side right on time. Only thing for sure, east side right on time. Gunning through your dough, all I ever wanted was $1 bill and hundreds. And my teacher asked my woman when she smiled, I stick my tongue in. Plus some cartoons and some cereal. Snoop Doggy on my stereo. Some British nights or LA gears with glowing lights or Perry Ellis jacket. I would love a swap me full of Chevrolets and candy paint that's wet with Tammy. Honda bumper, can I humper? Papa tell me yes, a DPGC concert and a DJ Quicks on home cassette. 20 years later, I hate her on the fucking best. I'm so turned, willing in a two-door with 2 hoes that follow me, and you know, west side right on time. Tell them hoes kudos, east side right on time. They don't fuck with you though. When my hood getting to the money, the pedal never broke. Came a long way from the ghetto though, but west side right on time. Only thing for sure, east side right on time. Gunning through your dough,
I got these devils on
but you know I'll never back down. Cause all I wanted was a little respect, a bigger check than cash, so I could buy me a stash. Get money, get paid, get made, get laid. Drink some lemonade in my new Escalade. Getting played on the radio 10 times a day. Have girls doing tricks like Cirque du Soleil. Hop, drop, hop, stop, jump, dribble, step. Take a good girl and give her a bad rep. I buy a little ice and put it around her neck. All I wanted was a kiss, but she gave me some head. She gave me that ass and a place to crash. Then woke up in the morning, made me take out the trash. She took me upstairs, introduced me to Dad. He said, nice to meet you, then he kicked my ass.
Too many lying, everybody hiding. Now we all trying just to get by and get high and socialize. Start over again the next day. Blue moon gon' change my luck. Left my girl in a pickup truck with someone else to steal and drive away.
I got a taste of the good life and threw it away. No pot to piss and get high every day. And save for a country house with a picket fence where me and my friends could start over again. No debt, no bills, no calls. Not a trace of the life that I left it all. Just pink champagne, candy canes. High school girls that don't act their age and they don't know my name. And I don't care. Girls like to dance, I like to stare. So I quit my job and got a black guitar. Got drunk, drove home, and I crashed my car. Now I don't need shit but a song to rap and a tight little shack where I can hang my hat. Paid $15 for a dime sack. Smoked half that shit and gave the rest back.
Too many lying, everybody hiding. Now we all trying just to get by and get high and socialize. Start over again the next day. Blue moon gon' change my luck. Left my girl in a pickup truck with someone else to steal and drive away. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You behind.
Packed up my bags and I headed to the border with a pack of zigzags, porno mags and a quarter. Never looking back at what I left behind. You see, it's all out of order, but I don't pay no
I
mind.
threw it all away, started over again. Left my job, my house, my time traveling couch. My girlfriend in doubts that I had before. Gathered up my cash, I ran for the dough.
Remember shooting hoops, chilling on front stoops. 2 scoops, put my girl in a spacesuit. Wave goodbye, she rose to the moon, and I told her a lie. I said I'll see you real soon.
Quick to dismiss all the problems. I got no more options. I grab a bottle, drink non-stop till the sun comes up. Running on empty and I still don't give a fuck.
Too many lying, everybody hiding. Now we all trying just to get by and get high and socialize. Start over again the next day. Blue moon gon' change my luck. Left my girl in a pickup truck with someone else to steal and drive away.
And we are back here live on Spreaker.com. In the rotation, Episode 7, Fight Club 2. The main event is about to start on our tape delay here.
Give a little feedback on what we're about to see, Ben.
The skyscraper, Stefan Struve, all 6 foot. What is he? 6'11" or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Taking on some guy named, I don't know how to say his name correctly at all, but it looks like Stipe Miocic. But it's Stipe. I don't know if it's Stipe or Stipe or he's foreign for sure.
Sure.
I guess with that name it was kind of going hand in hand. But
What's
it's a heavyweight
build-up
fight.
here? Is there a build-up to this fight?
No, it's just a heavyweight fight for 2 guys that are kind of outside the top 10, looking to get inside the top 10. And Stefan Struve, both these guys are foreign, so I think this being in the UK, they're both European. I think that's the appeal, is that it's a couple of European guys fighting each other.
Fuck those guys.
But it's heavyweight, so it's bound to be a knockout. And if there's one thing Stefan Struve knows how to do, it's get knocked out really spectacularly.
Sure.
Like Roy, remember Roy Nelson bent him over in half. Remember that? Not that long ago. But at the same time, he's super dangerous too because he's so long, and he's very good at jiu-jitsu. So once he gets you down, he has those long legs and those long arms.
I believe that they said it this week on Fox that he's the tallest UFC fighter
ever
in the company.
Mm-hmm.
But currently also
correct.
He's
like 6'11" or something like that. He's crazy tall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vince would salivate over him. He'd put him in a gorilla suit with hair on it.
Maybe. He's very skinny, so I don't know that Vince would
That's
be
why he'd
interested.
put the suit on him.
Yeah, I don't know that Vince would
he'd be
interested at all.
elegante.
Yeah. But no, yeah, both guys looking to make a name for themselves here. So,
well, you know
hopefully
what?
that's
Speaking of making a
spectacular.
name for themselves, Mitt Romney's in the news all the time.
Yes.
So why don't we get to a little segment here I like to call Who Said It?
Who said it? This was a great idea. You pitched this to me, and I think it's a home run.
The first time I found this, I was like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. So I don't really know how we want to play it. Do we want to just go line by line, and then you say Who Said It? Like, I know the answer.
Right, you know the answer. So I guess right now it's just the game of me trying to guess who said it.
Who said it?
Mitt Romney or
And
the
some
Insane
when you go,
Clown
oh,
Posse.
this is obvious.
Right.
It's not. And that's when,
That's
you know,
the best.
Right.
Okay.
But then other ones you might go, or, you know, it might not work. So it's not the greatest game on earth, but there's a couple.
I like the concept.
There's a couple that
I
are
the concept.
wow.
So I think this is just the initial test run, the pilot of, if you will. So let's we'll see how it goes. If it's a spectacular failure, you'll never hear this segment again
Ever. But I've teed up. I have more. Oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
We have a guest.
Wait, Sal.
No, you don't even tell us when we have a guest.
You're springing a guest on us. We go live to the Skype cam.
What up?
What up?
Our guest. Oh, is this right, Sal? Joey Eastman?
Joey Eastman live on RTR Live right now?
Yeah, that's the rumor going around the campfire. Yeah. I got a Facebook message saying that you guys were live having fun. I'm not having fun because I'm packing up my freaking apartment. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wait, you're moving?
Yeah, I actually just bought a giant house up in New Hampshire. And I'm moving tomorrow.
All your millions of dollars, or what?
Who the fuck are you, Howard Stern?
Fuck, man. Last 4 years, all I've been doing is saving money, not doing shit since I moved to New Hampshire. And, yeah, I just bought a 14-room, 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom house.
Jesus Christ, man.
For what?
Yeah. Well, I'm moving in with my girlfriend. She's going to move in with me. She has 2 kids, so we needed something bigger. And then I needed a wrestling room because I don't like kids. So
Certainly.
so one of the rooms in the back of the house is going to be, you know, for a big screen TV with all the DVDs, and so I can smoke cigarettes and drink beer.
Excellent.
You're like an adult now and everything, Joey.
I know, I'm a fucking grown-up. Like, I
When
have
did
a
this happen?
job
When did
and
this start?
It's kind of the shits. I don't like it. Like, all I do is sit at home. I don't go out anymore. Like, all I do is sit at home and watch TV.
You know, I'm almost embarrassed. Let me give a proper introduction to Joey Eastman, because just to say hi to this guy is almost a shame.
Right.
Joey Eastman is the manager of all managers. If you don't know him, you got to know him, and literally a good friend of both Ben and myself.
Yes.
He's probably one of the coolest people when you're around him. He always wants to make everybody feel welcome
And have a good time.
And you go to him with the craziest of craziest ideas, and then he just takes it one more step up. It's just how he does it.
The beauty of Joey Eastman.
The beauty of Joey Eastman. He's a cool friend. We've known him for 6,
like
7
10
years
now.
10 years. It's really been that long, huh? The man.
Yeah, because you're the first indie match that I really saw and felt like I had to be a part of indie wrestling was that it was a Brian Zenner show at the CLC. It was a tag match. You and I think Daniels against Loki and Jason Rain.
It was actually myself and Low Key against Daniels and Jason Rain, and that's available on my YouTube page. Thanks for the segue. YouTube.com/Vito Tomaselli. That match is there right now. You can check it out right now. No kidding. That's the match that got Joey Eastman into the world of pro wrestling.
We have you to blame.
Wow.
Yep.
What did you
It's all
like
your
about
fault.
it? What was it that you said, I got to do this?
Just the fact that you guys went out there and all I knew was just, you know, I knew New England pro wrestling. Like, you know, I knew Vince McMahon. I'd seen AWA in Texas on TV, but that's all I knew. And then I knew the shit of the indie shows in New England. I caught like one Carmine Despirito show where everybody was just hacking themselves to death. Like, and then that show there, and especially the main event, I was like, holy shit, that's really awesome.
So then at that point, did you start going to IWA? Because like, for those of you that don't know, Joe Eastman was really in my opinion, the only fan that ever turned into wrestling that actually should have been in wrestling from the beginning, because everyone that turns into wrestling, like the Scars of the world, they just basically get laughed out because they can't really do what Joe Eastman ultimately was able to do. So pay yourself on the back, Joey.
I think, I was talking to my girlfriend about this because we watched a couple of IWA shows from when I was actually in the crowd. And she's like, how did you make the transition? And it was just listening to everybody. Like, I just did whatever anyone said because all I knew was, I wanted to do it. So just do what the guys that were doing it were doing and telling me to do. And I figured I'd be okay.
Sure.
And it worked out for you, man. I mean, you had a pretty fun run. I mean, looking back on it now, does it surprise you when you look back on it? What are your thoughts on that whole run you had here in Chicago in the Indies?
Oh, it was way more than I should have ever done. It was like, I'm the shit. I don't think I'm good, but I just got with good people that, I just listened to them. I should have never done half of the shit. And now, I'm working for Chikara full time. Like, I'm doing good things with them. I'm having fun. Like, I shouldn't be doing half of the shit that I'm doing. There are far more talented guys that have paid way more dues than I ever would have paid. But I just got lucky. Like, it was 2004, the internet was still, like, kind of new with the message boards, and I just sort of took it.
So, Joey, what was the turning point from, obviously, I remember your first couple promos in IWA, and they were like, you're not getting it yet. And then all of a sudden it was like, he's the best. Like, you literally went from like to whoa, hell yeah! Everybody
when
wants
did the light go off?
Yeah, when did the light go off for you? What was your red pill moment, if you will?
I don't even think I've had one yet. Like, everyone else says I have, and what I do now and what I think makes me successful to everyone else is because I'm such a huge fan. I'm the biggest mark in the world for wrestling. I do in the ring what I feel I would want to see if I paid to see me.
Sure. And, I mean, you brought up Chikara. I wasn't really going to bring it up because I kind of thought that was, it's not Joey Eastman. So tell us about Chikara, man. Tell us about the whole – what started that? What brought that on?
There was a 10-man tag match in New England. It was an Everett show. It was like the best of New England 10-man tag match. And I remember seeing the lineup, and I'm like, holy fuck, you couldn't have picked the worst 10 guys to represent New England on what I feel is one of the biggest companies in the United States. So I have a buddy, his name is Scott. He wrestles now as Max Smashmaster. And I'm like, look, you and I are going down to this show. And you're going to bring a DVD, a promo pic, a resume, and I'm going to introduce you to Quack because I've known Quack for years.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever happens, happens. So Scott does it. I bring it, we go downstairs, we meet Quack, and then Quack and I start emailing. He tells me to come down to the show, the first show this year. And we come down, and he pulls Scott along with his new partner and introduces them to each other. And then he calls me over and tells me that this is only going to work if they have a manager, and he feels that he's looking at one of the best managers out there right now. I jumped at the chance to do it, and the rest is history.
Chikara is such a unique product. We are such marks of it. On me and Vito, we always have been. We kind of talked about it last week on our show. What marks we are. It's so different than every other indie, isn't it?
Everything. And the locker room, I feel, is very reminiscent to Elite Pro in that it was a family, but there was direction there. We all knew where we were going on the next show.
And you know what's cool about Chikara
is now.
The like you say, the locker room, it's not segregated like the veterans and then these guys and then this clique. Like, it's literally everybody working together. I haven't been there since 2008. Is it still the same way? It's still the same camaraderie?
It's absolutely the same. If one guy fucks up, you have 15 guys there to unfuck him up. It's just, it's everybody helping each other to achieve a common goal, and that common goal is to see Chikara be better than Ring of Honor and be better than TNA and be on the level of the WWE in the mainstream. You know, that's what everybody wants there.
Don't you think they're really like one backer away from being a really big deal? Like they have all their bells and whistles are all in a row at this point, right?
It's there. Quack is like this evil wizard that, you know, I don't think the guy sleeps because I get emails from him at 3 a.m. Like, just coming up with all of this shit to sort of, you know, make the product better. And I really do. I think that there's just, there's that one thing, whether it's I think personally they should go after a Cartoon Network show or fucking Nickelodeon or something like that. You know, get this scene to kids, because I brought my girlfriend's 2 kids to the show. They told me that they had more fun at the Chikara show than when I brought them to SmackDown and we sat like 4th row.
You almost think that Chikara itself, take the wrestlers out of it, like completely take them out of it. You almost think that Quack could just sell that concept to a Cartoon Network and make it a cartoon with those guys, and it would flourish.
But you see what's going on with, like, you know, Sinclair and Ring of Honor. You get people that don't know wrestling, and they're just gonna. That's all they're gonna do. And Quack is too OCD, I think, to to let that happen.
Everybody has a random snag in the armor, you know, and that might be his random snag. But I'm telling you, man, and I know you're a part of it, so you obviously have a different opinion. But they just seem so close. Every year they get 100 more people to King of Trios, or they get, you know, X amount of more sign-ons to their podcast. Like, they just seem like they're, or maybe at this point, maybe they are making it. Like, maybe it's to the point where,
I mean, they have relationships with companies in Japan. You know, their reach is far-reaching. I mean, you look at the WWE and who they're hiring. That some of the last few hires have been guys that have come through Chikara and that system. I mean, they're incredible. Joe, you were obviously at King of Trios this year. We've watched night 1,
night 2, parts of night 2.
Yeah, parts of night 2, and it looks like it lived up. I mean, talk a little bit about what you saw having been there and watched it. King of Trios is a fucking spectacle.
It was all energy. Oh, hello?
Yep, we're still here.
We're here. You here?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here. I don't know how this Skype thing works.
Dude,
I'm so confused.
You sound flawless, so just keep going.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I was only there for night 3. I wasn't able to go nights 1 or 2, but I went night 3, and just to see everybody, you know, everybody was out there, and they were just excited. Like, there was a big feel. I got there about. Call time was 1 o'clock. Bell time was 4 o'clock. There was a line out the door and around the building already as I was pulling up. You know, the fans just seemed excited. All the boys seemed excited. Like, this was WrestleMania. And, you know, it was exciting. The energy when we went out there. Like, I remember looking, you know, as I hit the stage, and I see the first, like, 3 rows of people just jump up, and we had never been in Chikara. We did one Wrestling is Fun show and the baseball stadium show, so nobody knew who we were. And you just see these first 3 rows jump up, and they just pop. And then when the other, you know, when Scott and when Max and Blaster get up on the stage with me, you just hear this, oh, and they were there for everything the whole night. I remember watching the show, and just the crowd was there for everything, and the crowd was excited, making the boys excited to do it.
Sure.
And then you get a chance to see some of those the legends, obviously.
Oh my God!
You got a chance to up and close with Demolition.
And when it comes down to legends, Brandon and Joey are like tied as far as like they'll paint their face like Road Warrior, Hawk and Animal and rock out wherever they go because they love it. So
I can only imagine getting a chance to be up close and personal and see guys like, you know, Demolition and Tatanka and 1, 2, 3
Barbarian, Ming, Warlord.
It must have been a trip to see those guys, huh?
Well, a great story was, you know, in the tag gauntlet, Demolition eliminated Devastation Corporation. And the next team coming out was the Powers of Pain, and I knew this. And I remember telling the 2 guys, take your time. I want to see this. Because I wanted to see, closer than everyone else, Demolition and the Powers of Pain do a face-off in 2012. And to me, that was worth the payday. That was worth the 6-hour drive. That right there was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
That's awesome.
Joey, now, can I ask you a couple questions, like, you know, that you probably wouldn't normally be asked? But I don't want to, like, I don't want to come like I'm attacking you at all. Can I ask you some questions, or is that?
Absolutely.
Okay, and now as I say it, you know me, man. You and I have worked together. I literally I try to ask as many questions as possible so that once I understand you, then that's my new way to go. Right? Do you agree with me?
Absolutely.
I saw your guys' debut at the baseball stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the pay-per-view. I'm one of the guys that paid for that. So all I'm saying, when you came out and you were doing your deal, I loved how I really loved how you made it seem like your new guys were the shitheads that were coming out. I thought that was fantastic. Who were those shitheads? Because they were your guys. They were like, remember whoever fought your team, your initial promo, you made it seem like it was these guys were your new team, but those were the guys who were going to fight your new team. And
they wanted the opportunity.
They were you knew those guys, right? You got them booking or no?
No, they were actually there with Sugar Dunkerton, because I couldn't. There was a couple of indie shows. Normally, I'll bring the guys down with me, but there were a couple of indie shows going on, and I couldn't get anyone to come down. So Sugar Dunkerton, brought 2 guys up from Georgia to do it.
Okay.
Oh wow. We're watching UFC.
We're watching
UFC
at the same time as well as we're doing this. So Steven Strude is punching this guy in the face. But anyways, to get back to what we were saying, initially you came out for your promo and they were yelling the obvious Tony Clifton references at you.
Yes. Yeah.
Could there be is it as simple as making a blonde wig?
I think a lot of the basis for this is Tony Clifton. I'm not going to lie to you when I emailed Quack, because we didn't want Joey Eastman, and that was all we knew, was that we did not want Joey Eastman for this.
Sure.
So, I emailed
your
Quack
face
with an
is
idea.
so you won't give yourself credit for this because I know you just won't. But you're the indies, dude. Like I didn't really get this either until I got out of it. There's independent wrestling, and then there's the indies. The indies is a network. Okay, from PWG to Chikara to CZW to Ring of Honor to IW Mid-South to like that mesh of people that swirl that can work all those shows. You understand? And I know you do. Yeah. FIP, everybody.
Yeah.
You're almost, how do I say it? Like to bring in Joey Eastman, not as Joey Eastman, is strange in a sense. Like you almost need a complete prosthetic face, right?
Exactly, and that's what we wanted to go with. But we didn't even think that far ahead, because I think the original idea was to have me look like me, but just not the name, do everything right.
And you can understand that too, because when you jump in that comic book world, that works better than just say Joey Eastman. It works better to have a brand new, fresh, new, and for your own psyche to have something fresh to think about, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to be Joey Eastman. Like, I'll go there and I'll help set up the ring. Like, I want to start over because I feel like it's something bigger than what I'm used to. So I want to start with all the guys, that are on ring crew that work their way up in Chikara. I want to do that. And I feel the best way to do that is to just shed the 9 years of whatever whatever people think I've accomplished, and I just wanted to start fresh. And the whole Tony Clifton idea, it was just a night of drinking a few beers and, emailing Quack saying, why didn't I do a Tony Clifton type thing?
Could that possibly evolve maybe to a different direction than, say, a Tony Clifton, just out of spite, or are you too deep now to where that's what it is?
I think what we want to do eventually is to sort of work away from the wig, work away from all that. But I mean, I was always taught there's money to be made in absolutely everything that I do. So if, I do a loser shaves his head match or something ridiculous like that, And then, now we've made money off of me having the wig. Sure. Now we've made money off of all of this stupid stuff, and then we let the character take over.
Interesting.
And now let me literally it just came into my head. So this isn't a real thought. This is like a initial thought. And I hate to throw shit on people when there's not a real plan. Is it as simple though as you getting burned with a fireball and having a mask?
It could be and the way I look at it now, it's whatever Quack wants.
No, and I've worked with him. That's 90% of the battle. That you're not going to really change his opinion, and not in a bad way. It's that he's got he knows what to do next.
Right.
So who the fuck are you? And not who the fuck are you, but who the fuck are you?
He's got a comic book he's been writing for 12 years.
Right, and now you're going to come in and go, no, Spider-Man should be purple and gold, not red and blue.
No, I can't do that. And I know my place. I know my place that I am secondary to Max and Blaster. Those guys are the stars. Blaster, he's green, and, he's going to get there. But the big kid, the big white kid, is one of the best guys over 300 pounds that I've seen in wrestling history. The kid is freaking good.
Can I and I hate to even give one negative on him, 'cause I like your group, dude. I literally think that the three of you, I think you're gonna be a third man in the King of Trios one day. No, you're laughing, but when it happens, I want you to call me and say you were right, because that's that's the kind of person I am. But that's where I think this is heading, dude. I really feel you're the Fuji of the group, not the.
Or Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan would get
correct, but Mr. Fuji could don the gear and you wouldn't question it. You just went
right,
exactly.
Sure, right.
What I'm saying is though, old boy, white dude, old boy needs a singlet, dude. He looks like he looks weird from behind, and this is me being totally way overthinking it. Okay, from behind you're going, he's a kid. He looks dumpy. So if he had a singlet, he would be the coolest thing on the planet. He's an outfit change away from being the coolest thing on the planet. I'm sorry for saying that, man.
But no. I can totally see that. And that's what I want. Is I want all of this feedback. I remember Ben sent me an email about or a Facebook message about the gimmick that I was doing, and there was a lot of good feedback in there. And the thing is, I run it by Quack. I'm like, hey, there was a good idea put up. What about this here? What about this here? But this gimmick here, everything down to the gear is Quack.
Gotcha.
I get that.
This is something when we went down to their last pay-per-view just to try the gear on. No one knew what that we were coming in, but yet everyone was saying Devastation Corporation, Max Smash Master, and Blaster McMassive, because this has been an idea that Quack's had evidently for 5 years that's never taken off.
Because he didn't have the right guys.
You know what I'm saying, though, Joey, where if he just was a little more covered up, literally 20% of his body, you would not even – it would be Vader, right?
No, I know. You're absolutely right.
But I saw that baseball show, and I could not stop looking at his back fat. I'm sorry, man. I was going, if you would just – I love the helmets. I love the face paint. I love the I like the black and white guy. I like the random manager that is all over the place. I love it. I love it. And you know me with gimmicks, dude. I am very picky. Yeah. And if I could change one thing, only one thing would be just put a singlet on that guy, and I'll never complain again. I promise. I'll give you my house. I promise.
We might have to have Quack on and try to convince him.
I promise you. But again, man, I'm nobody, and I'm out of the business, so fuck me. But outside looking in, honestly, dude, singlet.
You would change that.
Yeah, dude. Everything else is perfect. Don't change a thing. It's perfect.
Okay. All right, because I think he is one of the to see him in there, and wait till you guys see Night 3, because it's a true testament to how good he is, because he just went in there. The guy is so big and can move, but he's safe. He's everything that's right with independent wrestling today.
That's
agreed. Awesome. And that's why I literally didn't want to say really anything to you, because You know what it is, Joey? Like, okay, so you come to me and you go, hey, check this out. I'm initially looking to shit on it. Because that's what happens when you say, hey, look at this, right? I don't want to shit on it. I literally think this is you. Out of all things you've done, and I gave you Osiris. That I thought that was it for you.
Oh, that was fucking great.
You and Osiris are money, and I will go down in history that's saying that is your guy. You should almost. Could you pitch him to Quack, or is that not realistic?
I don't think I'm in the position right now to pitch him to Quack.
I get that.
But however, Quack's putting a lot more trust into me, and I remember Osiris was up in at a Dave Hero show. I think it was even last year, and I went right up to Dave. I'm like, that fucking guy is awesome. I want to manage him. Like, he's good. Put him in there with me. And Dave, everybody knows Dave Hero. Like, he's sort of got his guys, and he doesn't use a lot of outside talent.
But dude, your guy is Osiris, homie. Like, when it comes down to it, like, that's the guy. Like, but now imagine the clique of those two motherfuckers that are, and I'm not saying when we say on this show, fellas, when we say motherfuckers, that's putting you over. Like, those motherfuckers with Osiris
would
lights
be mind
out.
blowing. Yeah,
Lights out, man.
Yeah, and Osiris is just so big. Like, I still talk about him because I still have the Elite DVDs here. And, I'll put one on and show people, and I'm like, this is what, I'm sorry, I think Elite, if it would have stayed around, it would have been the biggest thing in Chicago. Like, there was those last few shows when the houses were up and everything else, it was just fucking awesome.
Well, it's kind of funny you say that because we've had some defectors over the last X amount of weeks.
Yeah, actually.
In Prince Ali and Jason Hades that shit on Elite. And said how it's garbage and it did nothing for anybody.
And the booking was thrown together.
And we had to.
Wow, I would sit there and debate them because I think that Elite, when I walked in there, I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew how many promos I had. I knew, everything was just right there for me, and all I had to do was go out there and do what you guys wanted to do. I had ideas and stuff like that to pitch to you, but you guys knew what was best for the crowd out of me. And I think that it was the fans, you guys were booking for your crowd. Whereas, people, I see it all the time, like, people will go out there and call 1 million spots and the crowd is a majority kids and nobody wants to see all that hard-hitting shit.
Right.
And you guys knew your crowd. And I'm telling you, man, Elite, if it would have just worked out, it would have been one of the biggest things.
Yeah, we were ahead on the curve on a lot of things, and these guys, those two kind of forgot how, we gave them so much opportunity in such a random time with the internet. They said that we were not the innovators of putting promos online and segments online, and it's not that we reinvented the wheel. It's that we were ahead of the operation of the wheel. There was nobody doing it, and then they dumped back at us, and we were dumbfounded by it.
To your credit, and it came from your mouth. The first time I ever heard iPay-per-view came out of your mouth in an Elite locker room. You and I were talking about what you had in store for it. And I still don't know what iPay-per-view is, but I knew you mentioned it before anyone else. And now when I hear, it rings a bell. Yes, I know people are running iPay-per-views and all that. But the first time I heard it was in that Elite locker room, right where the bathroom stalls were, how you would walk around there. You and I were talking at the edge of that. And you mentioned iPay-per-view. You were the first one.
Well, I'll share a story. Jay Jensen and I were developing the concept of iPay-per-view because it was so new at that time, and we were talking about it. He was doing his homework, and we started. He bought a switcher to do the live camera switching, and started putting the process in. And that was in May. That was the our commissioner.
Armando Estrada
had that meeting of the minds.
Yep.
Yes, I remember that.
Right, and then we took June off, and then July and August. Then we did the Death Grip show. After Death Grip, the show coming back, we were going to do a free iPay-per-view. Jensen thought he'd have everything in line, and this was there wasn't Go Fight Live. Nobody was doing it.
With nothing.
Right.
There was none of that at that time.
And we were going to do it free, and the only thing they had to give us was your email address, and we give it to you for free. That was it.
Right.
And and he even had it dialed down to where he would block it in the Oak Forest and surrounding areas. It would be blocked, so you couldn't get it on your computer if your IP address tied you. That's how ahead of it we were. And then we literally shut down because Jay Jensen and Mike Nolan couldn't get along anymore. They just didn't want to do it anymore. Those are the money guys. They don't want to do it anymore because they were all arguing about literally $1, And at the time, everybody was at wits' end. It was so silly when you think about it. It was like there was two things going on during Elite. There was the booking, the show, the concept, the show, and then there was all the behind the scenes things with two guys. Literally.
Right. Yeah, and that's what it seemed like was you and Sal and Ben were doing all the booking, and you had that tight, everything was right there. But then there was Acid, his wife, Jay Jensen, and there was a whole nother crew that they didn't keep to themselves, and that's the wrong way to put it, because I think Jay Jensen and, Nolan are two of the best guys in the business when it comes to just how nice they were to me. But there was always there were always two different books. There wasn't two different pages. There were sort of two different books. And
Agreed.
I always thought that it was, the business side of it and then the wrestling side of it, which it should be. And I don't know the stories or anything like that, but, if it was something different, this is the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's just funny, man. That's why I'm only bringing it up. Literally 2 weeks ago or a week ago, we just did a show about Elite. We had to argue why it was cool, and it was
people forgot.
People forgot, and I was so mad to sit back and be like, why do I have to tell to guys that we brought up? Why do I got to explain to you why this was good for you? And the overall concept was they work for this company called Dreamwave, and Jay Repsol rips off every WWE concept and calls it by that name and is okay with it. So our whole show the other week was, take the Money in the Bank, right? Take it, and now you have a gimmick. But don't use a briefcase. Can you use a mouse pad? Can you use a medal? Can you use a trophy? Can you use a refrigerator? Can you use
anything?
Anything but a briefcase. What do they use? They use a briefcase. So we spoke up. We were shitty. Ben was shitty on this website about it. And they attacked him and attacked what he was doing at Elite. He wasn't that creative. So we had to come on here and explain why we were creative, from the $600 six-mans that turned into four-way dances that turned into one-on-one matches to the Demolition Cup. And you knew about the Demolition Cup. You were a part of it. To the championship rules. We're not oh my God. We
didn't reinvent the wheel, but we put effort into being different.
To being our own shit. And if you could just speak on that for 1 second, it would help us.
Well, I think in Dreamwave's defense, they have a casual crowd. And that's what's going to make them money, is something that is going to click from what they see on TV.
Okay, but Joey.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No.
Hold on, man. Agreed, meaning, sure, they'll pop. But if he's got a built-in crowd that's going to come regardless, you could put anything out there.
That's true. You can, but when it's easy like that, hey, it's an easy,
it's just the lazy way to do it.
But you can't go buy a goddamn trophy instead of the goddamn briefcase.
I get what you're saying. Now, what you guys were doing it for a much larger audience. Whether you want to think that way or not, you guys weren't just booking for Oak Forest, because you were putting the stuff on YouTube for everybody to see. You guys were putting stuff everywhere, so you had to do something different. You had to think outside of the box. And that's the big difference with Elite and Dreamwave, is that Dreamwave, they're going to make their money at the door. They're going to make their money at the sponsors. You wanted that Ian Rotten type buzz, where it felt like something bigger. And that's what you did. Whether you want to believe it or not, what you guys had was bigger than what everyone else at the time was doing.
Well, that makes us kind of that's a thought process that I don't think either of us really even thought about.
I was looking for that out of Ali and Hades.
Right.
Now, I don't mean looking for it. When I found out they weren't saying that, I was dumbfounded.
Right. Right. It's when you defend it and say, "Oh, well, it makes money, so it's okay." Just because it makes money doesn't mean it's okay. Plagiarism isn't cool.
No, and I get that. However, who knows that it's plagiarism?
Well, it's very easy. I know it's plagiarism. If I'm a 7 and I saw Mason Ryan run out with the briefcase to turn it in for the heavyweight title, I'm going to look at my mom and go, "Oh my God, he's turning in the Money in the Bank."
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not going to call it, but with the same sense, if he comes out with the trophy, I'm going to call it the something in the gold. Instead, I'm not going to call it the Money in the Bank.
Right.
That's my point, dude. If you already got a built-in,
it's integrity.
There's no reason to have this conversation. I was more bringing it up because you brought a lead up again, and it's our baby, Ben and mine's baby, and you got to see it at the height of it. And you got to see it.
I lived it.
You lived it, right. And you got to come in. I was trying to tell guys, you guys drove from New Hampshire for these fucking shows.
Yeah, because I believed in that product. And, I'd be lying if I said I made anywhere close to breaking even on those shows. I didn't.
It cost you guys money.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it did. But it gave my guys out here something to look forward to.
And credibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott Reed, who you guys were pushing huge
before anybody was.
Absolutely, and he's now one of the in Dragon Gate and making money at wrestling.
Mark my words. If he does the right thing in a year, he'll be signed.
Yeah,
in a year.
Short, but he's got it.
Yep. It's so interesting to go back and here's one name I got to find out. Whatever happened to B.A. Tatum?
Really? I hope you tell me he's a millionaire somewhere and very happy because I love that guy.
It's going to be actually the complete opposite.
Oh.
And I will be, this is about as honest as I could ever be. The kid fucked up.
How? Yeah, tell it. Because I'm intrigued. I love that guy.
When Adam Pearce was booking Ring of Honor, I was taking B.A. Tatum everywhere. When Pearce was booking Ring of Honor, he called me up because Bobby Cruz couldn't make 6 shows, and Pierce gave me 6 shows. I brought Ethan everywhere. B.A. Tatum was with me. And then we did the show in Detroit, and he goes out there, stinks up the joint. He had one of the worst matches ever.
Who was he fighting?
What's that?
Who was he wrestling?
I have no idea. Some guy in California, some guy out of California, big black guy also. But the whole thing was, it wasn't the match. The match, Pierce was like, okay, I get it, he's green, but he has a great look, just like what you said, when you first saw him. However, it was Ethan in the back, sitting back there with his headphones on, not talking to anybody, not tearing down, not setting up. He literally sat on the bleachers with his headphones on and didn't talk to anyone. So fast forward a few months later, and he just stops calling and showing up. And there was this guy out here in New England. He wrestled as Setheron, and god awful. He's a 13-year independent wrestling vet working once a month.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the guy is a fun guy to party with. He knows everybody in Boston. So you go out with him, you're going to have a great time. But you do it once every 4 months. You don't do it every weekend. Ethan, instead of getting in the car with me and going to work the shows in Maine where I was working 7 shows in 6 days in Maine, he was going out to Boston and partying with Setheron. And he never advanced. He never did anything. And now he works, I believe, in a deli at a supermarket out here.
So he doesn't wrestle anymore?
Not that I know of. I don't hear his name. I'm far removed from New England wrestling.
Don't you agree, though, if the right guy said, let me spend 10 minutes with you a day, he could be on TV today, right?
You're 100% right. And the thing is, he had that guy out here. You've always heard me talk about Lobster Man and everything else.
Sure.
Well, Lobster Man reopened his school. For as crazy as Lobster Man is, the dude, if you can take the one nugget that he gives you and take that and hone it into your own, it's a wealth of knowledge, and it was free. He wasn't charging people to come to the school. He just put up a ring in a garage and said, come down. Have fun. I want to teach you guys again.
Hey, Joey, do you know that company out on the East Coast that got that special, like on A&E or whatever special that last special was, where it's that like balding guy and the fat guy, and they had and they also had like Shima Zion on. What was that special on TV?
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Those were guys out of New Jersey, and I remember thinking the big fat guy was like the East Coast Ed Sheeran.
Yes. How great were those guys? Like wasn't that special amazing?
Oh, it was really, really good. I was so enthralled with it.
Yes, I watched it 4 times, and I'm not kidding. From beginning to I watched it 4 times.
Yeah, Danny Inferno was on it.
Yes.
Promos for Jim Cornette.
Dude, how great was his promo in the mirror where he's like, okay, I'll do a promo.
Yeah.
He turned back.
About fist and everything else. I'm like, fuck, man, that's awesome.
But that is the majority of the indies these days, isn't it, man?
It is. It really is. As much as I'm not a part of it anymore, I'm still a part of it because tonight when I get done with this, I'm going to start moving stuff. The indie show after parties are going to be getting out, and I'm going to be hearing about all the shows. Mm-hmm. And you don't hear anything good. You only hear the bad about it.
Sure. Hey, Joey, we're cutting close on time here. Can I? You want to play a game with us?
I'll play a game.
It's called Who Said It.
It's that easy. Who said it? No, wait. Where do we stand on the political field? Are you a political guy? Are you not a political guy? Where do you stand before we give our side?
My whole thinking on it was the only thing that affects me in this election is gas prices because I drive an SUV and I'm paying $3.81 a gallon right now out here in New Hampshire. I know it's not a lot for you guys.
I'm looking for one answer: Barack Obama or Mitt Romney. One answer.
If I were going to vote, which I'm not, I would vote Barack Obama.
Okay, so now fans, you understand where he's at. Now, who said it? Mitt Romney or the Insane Clown Posse? That's the game. That's okay.
Right? That doesn't this sound great?
Now, I'm going to say that these are 100% exact quotes, okay? I know the answers.
I don't.
I'm not going to play. Ben doesn't know them.
So me and you are going to play this together, Joey.
You and Ben are going to play. Let's say you guys got $1 a question.
We can team up on this. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We can call a lifeline on each other in this one.
All right, cool.
Are you ready, my man?
All right, so let's do this.
So, a giraffe is a miracle. It has dinosaur-like neck. It's yellow. Who said it? Mitt Romney or the Insane Clown Posse?
This sounds like a trick question.
I would guess ICP.
I would guess ICP too, but I bet it's Mitt Romney.
Well, if you guys,
we're gonna go together on this. I'll say Insane Clown Posse.
If you guys guess the Insane Clown Posse, you get this.
Okay, we got it. All right.
Okay, you got it.
I would have believed if you'd have said no and it was Mitt Romney. I would have believed.
You would still believe it.
Yes.
I wouldn't have been shocked.
Pin the tail on the donkeys.
Pin the tail on the donkeys. That sounds like a Mitt Romney thing. I'm going to go with Mitt.
I was going to say, because of the Democrats and all that, I'll say Mitt Romney.
Right. Okay.
Boy, this game's not as much fun. Now, I was hoping you guys would be wrong a little bit.
Well, maybe you can trick us.
But, in all reality, that's taken out of context. So what's even, he's literally just talking shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I probably love my family more than anybody here.
It's such a weird quote to
let's give the guy on the phone the first guess.
Okay.
Because you might sway him a little bit, meaning you sit in the room. Look, I probably love my family more than anybody here.
I'll say Mitt Romney.
Ben?
It does sound like a Mitt Romney thing.
That's from a famous ICP song. Look, I probably love my family more than anybody here. That's a line from their song.
All right, there you go. See,
that's from Homies.
You got us on that.
Okay. I believe in America, where millions of Americans believe in America. That's the American millions of Americans believe in.
That's definite. All right, go first, Joey. But I think I got this one for sure.
I think that would be ICP.
Yes, I think that's definitely. That sounds like Shaggy 2 dope.
I believe in an American where millions of Americans believe in America. That's Americans millions of Americans believe in.
That sounds like something Shaggy 2 dope said after a night of pills and booze.
I was going to say, you can't be sober and come up with that line. That's ICP.
Yeah.
That's Mitt Romney.
What?
One more time. I believe in an America. And now, mind you, there's no ... or commas. This is all one running sentence. I believe in an America where millions of Americans believe in an America that's America's millions of Americans believe in.
Oh, that does sound like that sounds like Shaggy 2 Dope off of A Drunken Bender.
Right, where they just threw a question at me coming out of a hotel. Like, yeah, here you go.
I was just fucking this girl inside here. You're going to ask me a question? You know that? Yeah, definitely. Wow, good job.
Next one. I like ice cream, cherry pie, and lemonade. Now, mind you, Mitt Romney has had this several where he's coming out of Super Savers.
Yeah. Well, now you're trying to sway us.
No, but I just said it 'cause I envisioned him with a shopping cart where they said, "What'd you buy?" I bought stuff, and he wouldn't tell you what he bought. I like ice cream, cherry pie, and lemonade.
I would go ICP.
Yeah, I'm going to go ICP on that, too. Okay. Lyric from a song. It does sound like a lyric from a song.
Yeah.
I like those fancy raincoats.
Fuck.
That's got to be Mitt Romney.
Yeah,
Joey?
it's got to be.
I like those fancy raincoats.
That guy might be the president.
Detroit's not a tourist place. I'll start over. Detroit's not a tourist place, but what are you gonna do about it? It's a vast wasteland of poverty. That's what Detroit is.
That's ICP.
I disagree. I say that's Mitt Romney. So who?
Detroit's not a tourist place, but what you gonna do about it? It's a vast wasteland of poverty. That's what Detroit is. For those of you that said ICP,
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I figured, Mitt Romney talking down to poor people seems
sure, and I didn't cross. There's some I crossed out because some are very obvious.
Right.
But that one I kept because I thought it would sway you a little because they didn't talk about Detroit.
You got me.
But, okay. Mm-hmm. I purchased a gun when I was a young man.
That's ICP.
Joey?
That's got to be Mitt Romney.
For those of you that said Mitt Romney,
man, I suck at this game.
Yes.
I suck at this.
Why step back at all? We have to keep banging the pots and pans.
See, that sounds like something you would say in like one of those rallies or something like that. I'm going Mitt Romney.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Joey on this, Mitt Romney.
For those of you that said Mitt Romney,
what? This game is much harder than
we
I
step
thought.
back at all. We have to keep banging them pots and pans. That's ICP.
Wow.
Last
my
one.
God.
I want to taste this, by the way. Let me show you how it's done. You take it with your fork and you put it in. That's good. Let me say it one more time. I want to taste this, by the way. Let me show you how it's done. You take this with a fork and you put it in. That's good.
As much as I want this to be Mitt Romney, I'm going to say ICP.
I want it to be Mitt Romney too, but I think it was ICP.
For those of you that said Mitt Romney, I'm sorry, that is Mitt Romney.
It is Mitt Romney.
I wanted to, that is Mitt Romney. I wanted to taste this, by the way. Let me show you how it's done. You take this with your fork and you put it in. That's good.
Thanks,
like
Mitt Romney.
that might be the new line for our show.
We're gonna put that on a T-shirt. Oh shit! Well, Joey,
Joey, I can't tell you enough. 46 minutes in, you're the best guest we've ever had on.
Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You are more than welcome to call in anytime, man.
I just want my candor and my honesty to be what people think about me, so I'm always honest.
Hey, from me to you to a hole in the wall, man, you've always been a good friend of mine, and I'm glad I met you in life. Really.
Absolutely, I second that.
I feel the exact same way, guys. Like, both of you have done so much for me, both personally and professionally. Like, you don't understand how much gratitude I have towards the Tomasellis. Like, you know, that whole family. Like, Ma Tomaselli making me spaghetti when I was watching Impact pay-per-views on a Wednesday night.
Of course, of course.
It goes to all of you. Like, every one of you. That whole family, you guys are just fucking cool shit.
Well, just so you know, when you see us online, you have carte blanche. You call in, we literally stop what we're doing, and we'll have you on, okay?
Perfect.
All right, Joey, get back to moving, buddy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, take it easy, Joey.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. So every time we think we don't have a guest, we always end up finding somebody on our Facebook page to call in and talk to us.
You know, you randomly see him on and you go, hey, what are you doing right now? You want to call in and bother us with a couple seconds? And he does.
Sure.
Up next, we're going to go to a little Chris Webby. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Right on in to Murs. Everything.
All right. This should be good. We will be back right here on In the Rotation.
See, listen up, girl. You look good and all, but I gotta make my money. Gotta have priorities, you know?
It's a very big world with a lot of bad bitches, but I ain't never met one like you. But there's money to be made, and I'm really trying to get it. So, baby, what I need you to do,
Sap, let that beat drop.
but you gotta. I ain't got no fucking time. You gotta. You see, I'm out here on the grind. You gotta. Yeah, bitch, I know you're fine, but you gotta. Yeah.
There's one woman that I love, and she gave birth to me in '88. Aside from all these bitches, all come second to the paper chase. Not to sound conceited, but I work my fucking ass off. I'll be a dumb motherfucker if I let the women take away from me, stacking all of my cash, dawg. That's all. End of story. You're good in bed and all, but making money's mandatory. So salute the captain when I come through, when I rip the rapping. Got money on my mind, it's time to make it happen. Aside from the attraction, you ain't shit but a distraction. So just sit there and relax while I work on bringing this cash in. Now that I got a taste of it, I just can't stay away from it. This ain't me selling out, this is me on my making paper shit.
It's a very big world with a lot of bad bitches, but I ain't never met one like you. But there's money to be made, and I'm really trying to get it. So baby, what I need you to do, but you gotta. I ain't got no fucking time. You gotta. You see, I'm out here on the grind. You gotta. Yeah, bitch, I know you're fine, but you gotta. Yeah.
I need a second. We can work it out. Wait a minute. Get it, girl, give me some time. I'm about my money. On the grind, 25-8, spring, summer, winter, snow, night, sunny, I just need you to be my ride or die. You know what I'm doing, getting money is the alibi. Maybe when I hit 100 million, I be satisfied. Till then, gotta keep it rolling, get your camera time. Hold that, gotta hit the road, Jack. Why you acting crazy? Think you need some Prozac? I know how them hoes act, and I leave them alone. So you should know who to star, girl. It's your show.
It's a very big world with a lot of bad bitches, but I ain't never met one like you. But there's money to be made, and I'm really trying to get it. So baby, what I need you to do, but you gotta. I ain't got no fucking time. You gotta. You see, I'm out here on the grind. You gotta. Yeah, bitch, I know you're fine, but you gotta. Yeah.
Now as the world keeps revolving and the planets keep rotating, got my eyes on the prize and never on these suckers hating. I'm posted in the lab, man, I'm putting in that time, cause I'm trying to get the tickets so I stack instead of shine. There's people on the sidelines waiting for a chance to be in the starting lineup with the rock up in their hands. All I needed was a shot, but nobody ever gave me one, so I got tired of waiting on it and went and made me one. Now I'm in the game, fuck the fortune and the fame. Don't get caught up in the flashing lights and banners with your name. It's all here today, then it's all gone tomorrow. And the clubs you made it rain and won't let you come back and borrow.
She was only 15 in love with bad R&B. She had to have vision cause she saw the star in me. Encouraged me to write about the drama in my life. To most I seemed strange, like something wasn't right. I used to fall a victim to the lunchroom comedian. Something like an outcast, started smoking weed and then I sort of fell into my own. Kinda felt at home when behind the microphone. But on the bus ride home, that didn't mean a thing. Harassed by the thugs on the corners they would hang. I got banged on, I got beat down, carrying the golf club, walking up the street now. They respect me, they call me crazy, at least I'm not getting punked out on the daily. And when I look back, I wouldn't change a thing at all. Why you think I found this strength that I'm speaking to y'all? Your hopes and your dreams and your hate and your lies. Your lies. Expectations got me sitting here waiting on the day when it's okay to love, when black men won't pretend that they are thugs, when teachers and doctors are treated like celebrities. You can get a job even if you got a felony. Check out my melody, let's live in harmony. We in this together, no man has autonomy. No man is an island immune to the violence. This rat race is no place to raise a child in. What's wrong with smiling? What's wrong with peace? What's wrong with squashing beef before they label you deceased? Swallow your pride before you choke on your issues. I know you got family and folks that'll miss you, so don't misuse this gift you've been given. This life's but a dream we are blessed to be living. Your hopes and your dreams and your hate and your lies. From the old and the wise to the young as they fly. They fly. When I die. And basically, man, I'm just a dude that tries to do right. You know, I try to make my tomorrows better than my yesterdays without hurting anyone else in the process. Cause if you leave the world a better place than it was when you got here, then we all win. Now there's birth and there's death, but the space in between is where the journey takes place. And you give it all meaning. It's waiting on us all, there's no need to pretend. No freedom in the feeling where you fearing the end. All good things come to it. Walk, don't run to it. Times you wanna end it all yourself, don't do it. Be original, be different. Be the one to stand up and shock this system. Your hopes and your dreams and your hate and your lies. From the old and the wise to the young as they fly. They fly. When I die.
Have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have. I've been protested and demonstrated against. Picket signs for my wicked rhymes. Look at the times. Sick is the mind of the motherfucking kid that's behind. All this commotion, emotions run deep as oceans exploding. Tempers flaring from parents. Blow them off and keep going. Not taking nothing from no one. Give them hell long as I'm breathing. Keep kicking ass in the morning and taking names in the evening. Leaving with the taste of sour. It's vinegar in their mouth. See, they can trigger me, but they'll never figure me out. Look at me now, I bet you're probably sick of me now. Ain't you, mama? I'ma make you look so ridiculous now.
Moonlight illuminate my nights and my days are red. Make the people say, and a vision from me missing, so they're screaming out loud. Keep my feet on the ground and my head in the clouds. I'm the arrow, don't stop, go. Shoot me for that, I will go. And I go, and I go, and I go. Get up and go, make a deal, it's for real. Tell me what you know.
I got some skeletons in my closet and I don't know if no one knows it. So before they throw me inside my coffin and close it, I'ma expose it. I'll take you back to 73, before I ever had a multi-platinum selling CD. I was a baby, maybe I was just a couple of months. My father must have had his panties up in a bunch, cause he split. I wonder if he even kissed me goodbye. No, I don't. On second thought, I just wish he would die. I look at Haley and I couldn't picture leaving her side. Even if I hated Kim, I grit my teeth and I try to make it work with her. At least for Haley's sake, I maybe made some mistakes, but I'm only human. But I'm man enough to face them today. What I did was stupid, no doubt it was dumb, but the smartest shit I did was take the bullets out of that gun. Cause I would've shot Kim and you both. It's my life. I'd like to welcome y'all to the imminent show.
Moonlight illuminate my nights and my days are red. Make the people say, and a vision from me missing, so they're screaming out loud. Keep my feet on the ground and my head in the clouds. I'm the arrow, don't stop, go. Shoot me for that, I will go. And I go, and I go, and I go. Get up and go, make the deal, it's for real. Tell me what you know.
I would never diss my own mama just to get recognition. Take a second to listen. Who you think this record is dissing? But put yourself in my position. Just try to envision witnessing your mama popping prescription pills in the kitchen, bitching that someone's always going through a person who's missing, going through public housing. housing systems, victim of Munchausen syndrome. My whole life I was made to believe I was sick when I wasn't till I grew up. Now I grew up, it makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it? Wasn't it the reason you made that CD for me, Ma? So you could try to justify the way you treated me, Ma. But guess what? You're getting older now, and it's cold when you're lonely. And Nathan's growing up so great, he's gonna know that you're phony. And Haley's getting so big now, you just see her, she's beautiful, but you'll never see her. She won't even be at your funeral. See, what hurts me the most is you won't admit you was wrong. Bitch, do this song, keep telling yourself that you was the mom. But how dare you try to take what you didn't help me to get? You selfish bitch, I hope you fucking burn in hell for this. Remember when Ronnie died and you said you wished it was me? Well, guess what? I am dead. Dead to you as can be.
Moonlight illuminate bright lights and blind lanes are red. Make the people say, and a vision something missing, so let's keep it.
All right, we are back here on In the Rotation. We took a little bit of an extended break there.
Sorry, fuckers, for you at the gym, pissed that we took 3 songs. Next week we'll take 7.
Right. You want to complain about it again?
It's
Keep
either
pushing
that
us.
or half-assed because we got a shit.
Right, exactly. I had to poo. So. But
wow, Joe Eastman.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Came in guns, guns a-blazing.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to talk about some of the subjects he did talk about, and I'm glad that he did.
Yeah, me too.
The perspective on trios was pretty cool.
It's weird too when you plan a guest and they come on. It's one thing, but sporadic guest comes on, they seem to always kill it. Like Pondo last week.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Killed it.
Yeah. So
actually, our friend Toby from Germany. Remember
Yeah.
our first and only phone call. This
right,
one
right.
hit me up bragging that he knew Pondo. He knew Pondo from the Germany wrestling scene. Knew Madman.
Oh, no
Pondo.
shit.
That's how the name Madman Pondo goes. We're
you're in a
friends
video
with him.
game,
yeah,
man.
We're friends with him, so we don't see the
You're right.
the scope of it.
I agree. I think we just see him as like fucking Pondo, just the cool
This
dude
guy that we hang out
know.
with, we know him. He's a cool dude, but his scope goes pretty far. And he named his championships where he won them, how he won them. Like he just knew a lot of shit about him. And I was like, wow, Pondo, man, pat yourself on the back.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. I think currently, as we speak, he's probably wrestling Vader in Kentucky somewhere.
Oh, is that tonight?
I think it might be.
Wow.
So I got an email from Howie Mandel.
Segue.
That's what it said. Said Howie Mandel, and I had an invite to be a contestant on Deal or No Deal. And I was like, well,
So what happened?
Fuck yeah.
Sure.
All I had to do was click this link. Well, I clicked the link. Turns out it was just for the fucking app.
I also had a link one time, want a bigger dick? Click here.
You clicked it, didn't you?
Yeah, and then next thing I know, my phone, I couldn't turn it on anymore. But I did want a bigger dick, and everybody does. That's why when you get those links, that's why people make a lot of money to do that. So.
Right. They must enough people must click those to make it feasible to keep sending them out because
True.
they're relentless.
It's not like one guy in his basement trying real hard to get this thing out there. Like that's a business that does that.
Right.
Who are those motherfuckers, and where are they?
Right. And let me ask you this: who's still falling for the? Hi, I'm from the California, and I'm stranded in the United
Send
Kingdom.
me $5,000.
Please send me money so I can get home.
I get like 9 of those a week.
Who falls for that?
I don't know.
People must because they still do them. If they wouldn't keep doing them if people didn't fall for them.
That's a dream guest. Is the guy that makes those. That's our key guest.
Oh, even more. I'd like to interview the person that fell for it.
Sure.
I've got a million questions.
I bet we do our homework and we do some Google searches and then find the people that are in these news stories. I bet we could probably get the people on.
Oh man, I
Can't
would
be that
love
hard.
that. So, excuse me, can you tell me how the fuck did you fall for this?
Why are you an idiot?
What is fucking wrong with you?
Yeah. So the Mitt Romney, who said it? Mitt Romney or ICP?
Home run. Home run. The first two, you're like, oh, man, this is too easy. And then all of a sudden,
boom,
you think Mitt Romney's an idiot, and it turns out it's ICP.
There was that one, and I literally think I want this on a poster. Which one is it?
Is that the Americans love Americans who love Americans?
I want to taste this, by the way. Let me show you how it's done. You take this with your fork and you put it in. That's good. Like, that's...
Take it out of context. That's a great quote.
Greatest fucking quote ever. So yeah, no, good show. I think we nailed it down tonight. I think it was another Fight Club. It seems like these are the shows these are the long shows.
Yeah, these are the unhooked ones where anything goes. It's Saturday. We don't have anything to do.
Sure. And we decided anytime there's UFC or even mixed martial arts in general, we'll call it Fight Club.
Sure.
We like the opening theme. It fits the theme.
Yes,
it
the
gets us going.
Saturday Night Fight Club, where we're talking about MMA fighting and play fighting.
We know probably if you added it up, there might be 3 whole minutes tonight we actually talk about MMA.
Right.
But it doesn't matter.
Twice in a row we've watched pay-per-views and not commented on them at all, just to go, oh,
Right.
when somebody gets knocked out silly. Although we couldn't do it during the Joey Eastman interview, but Stefan Struve
knocked the shit out of his opponent tonight.
And the guy just kept standing up. He was like, he was
I think
out.
he was knocked out on his feet.
I think he was out on his feet.
His hands were down by his pockets. I think when your hands are by your pockets and you're getting punched in the face, it's time to stop.
Herb Dean was like, okay. And then the guy just collapsed because the only thing holding him up was the uppercuts, I think.
Right, and the cage.
Yeah.
The other side was the cage holding him back. So,
So yeah, big win for Stefan Struve tonight.
good fight. UFC's on a little bit of a roll. They're in this weird transition period now where now they're under the microscope. Everything's just shit. People are still watching.
Everybody's getting hurt. They're always changing.
But it isn't just that. Like, they've been on top so long now that now there's the fall off of the rush of getting the UFC pay-per-views. That's dumbed down. Now it's fans that are watching it.
I don't know, man. They book the right fights, and the guys stay healthy. People will get
WrestleMania
excited.
happens and people tune in. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying every pay-per-view is fading away.
Yeah, I would hope they're learning their lesson that they don't need this many shows a year.
It'll never
you don't
happen.
need 3 shows in 1 month.
It will never happen.
I know. Because they're
the contracts.
Yeah.
They have they already have people sold and money in. When you're looking at dollars in, you can't go back and go, yeah, but what if we lost 2 of these shows or 3 of these shows? Imagine what we could, their minds aren't there.
Right.
They're saying we have these shows. They're already paid for.
Right. We have commitments. We have
already paid for, man. Corporate. Once things go corporate, they suck. And that's kind of what we're falling into now. UFC's now is 100% corporate.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
They're itching for an ECW. We're like 5 years away from an ECW.
No. And I think also that Greg Jackson philosophy of just do enough to win, don't take any risks if you're the champion, that once that fades away, and Joe talked about it a couple weeks ago or last week sometime, talking about how it's phases. A few years ago, it was Milicic. Everyone was coming out of Pat Miletic's camp, and he was dominating. All the champions were from the Miletic camp, Matt Hughes, all those guys.
Sure.
And now, Pat Miletic, does anybody train with Pat Miletic anymore?
I don't even know who Pat Miletic is.
Right. So it's kind of a cycle thing, but at the same time, Greg Jackson has an amazing stable of fighters, so that's the problem.
You know, it's weird, though. UFC is still UFC. Like, I think the insiders know who Greg Jackson is, but I think the overall fan doesn't really know who Greg Jackson is.
Not yet, but they don't realize that. But once they look into why they hate the fights, they're gonna they start realizing.
It's not like the Sox have a manager and you go, oh, I don't like that guy. When you're watching baseball, that's so seasoned and they discuss it. Like, when you're watching these fights, Joe Rogan and those guys aren't talking about Greg Jackson in the fight.
Right.
They're calling the match, and that's all. That 15 minutes or 25 minutes of whatever fight it is, that's where the knowledge comes from, because that's your standard fan
fighting.
sitting down there drinking a beer and they're watching the events.
They're bullshitting with their friends until the fight starts.
Sure.
And then they're listening to what Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg have to say.
So that's where we hate Greg Jackson. But the other 75% that don't watch that close, they don't hate. They don't even know him.
They don't know why they hate the fight.
Right. They don't. Yeah. They don't. And that's it. They don't know why they hate George St. Pierre's last fight. They don't even know they really hate it. They just don't like it.
Right. It just wasn't action packed like they thought.
Right. Where are the Chuck Liddells of the world? Well, the sport has evolved past just stand there and swing with both arms till you connect.
Right. Because I was watching Bellator last night. First time I'd ever watched Bellator.
They're very interesting, aren't they?
I happened to watch it. I happened to see that it was going to be on, so I taped it, and I was watching baseball and other stuff, but I was flipping back and forth to it. It's interesting. It's different. It's definitely not UFC, but there is definitely, you could see it's definitely a step down in skill level.
If you're a marquee fighter, you're in the UFC.
Right. If you have any skill or marketability at all.
And even at that, if you're the next range up that's trying to get in the UFC, you're in Strikeforce, which no one's watching unless a girl fight main events it. Let's be honest.
Right. They just had to cancel another show. They had canceled a show last week, and that's another whole other thing. Can't we just end the whole Strikeforce fiasco?
It's
already?
not going to happen.
I know.
They're OVW, dude. There's money there.
No. Once the contract with Showtime was up, Strikeforce is going away.
Yeah, but wasn't it up a year ago? They renewed it.
Showtime did.
Right. So that's what I mean. They renewed it.
As long as Showtime remains interested, Strikeforce will be around.
Right.
Once Showtime is no longer interested,
right.
We're gonna move on.
MMA's in the height right now. If not, they haven't even peaked yet. As long as that's going on and people are still tuning in, like, I watch the Strikeforce events. I don't watch all of them, but I watch a Ronda Rousey fight.
Yeah.
They'll keep signing them on. It's never going to end.
Yeah.
MMA is cool right now. Like boxing, like I know there's a group of people that watch it. There's a big group of people watching it. I know nothing about
Nothing,
it.
yeah.
And there's also a big group that knows nothing about it. But yet there's still these like people like, oh, Pacquiao this or fucking Fernandez that. When they fight, oh my God, we're gonna all tune. No, we're not. I'm not gonna tune in.
Right.
But there's still that group of people. So that like MMA now has that niche.
Sure.
So I don't see Strikeforce going for a long time.
The next thing,
I don't.
you can see the barriers are starting to be dropped for UFC though, because UFC results are now on the bottom ticker of SportsCenter, ESPN News. It's part of the highlight packages.
Sure.
They're showing the highlights from the pay-per-views, the big fights. Before, it was only Brock Lesnar.
Really? That was the only time
Brock
he got on
Lesnar
there?
was the only time ESPN would pay attention to UFC.
But when they got on Fox, that changed, obviously.
It did change a lot. And then Anderson Silva becoming a kind of a big star, crossover star. John Jones kind of crossing
Nike.
over.
Right. Now you can't ignore it
Now
anymore.
ESPN, they have to treat it like
Who's the next Nike signed guy? Because it's not one. They're not going to do one. Who's the next guy? Person, I should say.
Well, there's two now.
Does Ronda Rousey get into Nike?
Yes.
Soon. She might be the next.
Yeah, because she's, cause she's so marketable. She's so incredibly marketable because she's so hot.
But take the hotness out of it. There's more. It's more than being hot, dude.
But
she's good.
She's good, but ultimately, we don't know how good she really is because compared to other chicks, there's nobody in her class, certainly. She doesn't have many challenges.
So when you go at the hot level, what's her name? The girl before her that was
Gina
hot?
Carano.
After her, who's the other girl?
Misha Tate.
Misha Tate was the same thing, but she's not Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, because she's not beating people with arm bars in the first round and having that. There's a whole persona that Ronda Rousey has, and that leading up to the fights, the way she talks in the press, she's very straightforward. She's very blunt. She's very much like the Diaz's.
Sure.
That she trains with them, so it makes sense that she.
If she could headline a UFC event, she's a Nike, right? You got to think that at some point.
She doesn't even have to headline. I think once, and I know that we disagree. I think before it's all said, I think within the next 2 years, I think Cyborg versus Ronda Rousey will be on a UFC undercard.
I don't see it.
That fight will be only because of how big of a mark Dana White is for Ronda Rousey now.
The fight was Misha Tate versus her. It already happened. That's the fight to go on a UFC card. I'm sorry, it's two hot bitches. Cyborg sucks.
But Cyborg looks like a legitimate threat.
But she's not. And I think the MMA world knows she's not.
I don't know. Everybody seems
not everybody. If you watch the shows during the week, they laugh at her. All of them do.
Well,
they're not building her up to be
laugh
that.
At anybody that any girl that's not.
You know when they're building up certain things, when they Joe Rogan a certain match, they're not Joe Roganing Cyborg. They're laughing at her.
Right.
On all these Fox shows, from her to MMA on set, they laugh at Cyborg.
But she's the only. I don't know. I think she's.
That's my point. She's the only one. They're not going to do it.
Right.
They'll stay on Strikeforce because that's working. Why bring them over and then lose the revenue on Strikeforce?
But see, Cyborg already though has shown that. Yes, it was against Gina Carano, who was a big draw, but Cyborg was a draw too.
I get it.
In the same sense,
a year ago before the suspension, I agree.
Yeah.
Now she's gone.
She has to come back and fight a couple.
She's not Alistair Overeem where you're waiting for him to come back. It's not happening. She's some fucking jobber bitch. Seriously.
They're all jobber bitches.
They're all jobber, and that's the overall point. They're all jobber bitches.
But Ronda Rousey is such a huge star. There's no way UFC.
She needs another huge star. That's almost it. She's too big of a star now. Why take it off Strikeforce? Wouldn't you just leave that entity alone? Because it's making money.
Strikeforce isn't making money.
No, but those events do. They do. And UFC owns them. No matter how many people don't want to say Dana White has nothing to do with Strikeforce, he does.
Right.
He does.
They run shit by him.
Run shit by it? Come on, man.
Right. Scott Coker's like, is it okay, Dana, if I make this fight?
Right, or Dana, there's more going on. He wants you to not think, or to think that he doesn't give a shit about Strikeforce. It comes across his desk, period. That Zuffa owns it. So it comes across Dana's desk at some point, period.
It's crazy. Did you see Dana was talking about how he thinks that the Fertittas will own an NFL team sooner than later?
They have gazillions.
Yeah.
When you're in Vegas, you have more money. Whatever's on your check, put another zero behind it.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
They own everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can maintain that and stay around that, and Here's a weird question. On the UFC Uncensored show, they show like events from around the country and around the world. They showed an event from New York City.
Really?
How?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought
it was in New York City.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who was it? I mean, how can they run a show but UFC can't?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I rewound it because I'm like, did I hear that right?
Yeah, they don't say. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's an explanation.
There's indies in New York that are running shows. How is that?
Maybe they're doing it. I don't know, under the table, but they're on national television with highlights, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I rewound it because I was dumbfounded by it.
Interesting. I also read it. Speaking of New York, did you see that WWE was in town? Did you read that article about how they were in New York touring the new basketball facility in Brooklyn? No. And MSG was like, "Well, why are you going over there, guy? Don't you? We're Madison Square Garden, guy. Come on."
That's their home. They're never leaving.
And that's what Vince said. He's like, "Well, wait a minute, hold on. We might just run over here in Brooklyn because it's a new stadium and we want to run in a new venue.
And there's a lot more seats,
right?
Let's be honest.
Is there in that Brooklyn stadium than
Madison Square Garden is small.
I didn't know that.
It's when
it
you
looks
look
big on TV.
Like they said they wanted. I read an article about next year's WrestleMania. Not next year's, meaning the next one. The next one after that.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about possibly doing Madison Square Garden again. It's the size of the venue that's holding them up.
Interesting.
Because it's a big venue, but it's not a stadium.
Right now, because WrestleMania has moved past.
When you're drawing 60,000+ people, you can't mess with 20. It'll never be in Chicago again.
It's football stadiums are bust. Yep.
Right. Why would you waste the revenue on those seats and those tickets?
And ultimately, I think you're going to see multiple WrestleManias in Dallas at that.
Why wouldn't you?
At that Jerry Jones.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's built. They have a giant fucking screen in the middle of the fucking stadium.
And let's be honest. Texas fans like wrestling. I mean, the Texas state of Texas is wrestling
you
fans.
Can fill it. People flying from all over the world for WrestleMania.
Pretty Ricky flew in for the Triple H Undertaker WrestleMania, like WrestleMania 17.
Really?
Pretty Ricky was there. They wrestled past him. He was like one of the guys
no
marking
shit.
out.
Pretty Ricky. There's a guy. Can we get Pretty Ricky on the show?
I think he's a better guest to think about than actually have on. 'Cause he'd be like, "Hey, Ricky, what's going on?" Nothing. What'd you do today? Nothing.
Worked.
Is there anything you want to talk about? No. Well, thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick. You're interesting, but you don't want to talk about it. Thank you.
But our sponsor, Death Group Clothing, has hooked us up with a band. I don't want to mention the band because I'm still in negotiations with the exact day. But we're going to have a band on soon, so we stray away a little bit from the wrestling world. We talked about Jamie Dundee coming on. Mm-hmm. We still have You're Fucking Fired with Chuck Liddell, if you will,
right?
Which isn't Chuck
We're
Liddell.
working on that. That takes some production because we got to find the right person.
This is
we
the
gotta
problem.
Work them.
I have found the right person, and then their schedule doesn't meet up with Axel's schedule. Then Axel can come on.
Who?
Boo. Sorry.
That's the liquor.
Blew my own load.
Right.
So if you got that, you got that. If you didn't, fuck yourself. I can't get both schedules to meet, and that's where we're holding up. Is we can't seem to meet.
Gotcha.
So, but he's on board. We could have. It's Axel. So Axel from Guns N' Roses. Axel.
Right. Actually, Axl Rose.
Axl Rose. He's going to be on to tell you how bad of a wrestler you are.
Because he knows.
He knows.
It was
an
amazing get that we even got Axl Rose. That's why we couldn't. But the cat's out of the bag now.
It's out of the bag. So he'll come on. He'll talk about Slash. He promises. And yeah. Other than that, guys, I think it's nice to know.
Yeah, I mean, we have gone another almost 3 hours on this Saturday night. Fight Club is becoming like the marathon show.
The show.
Yeah, so we'll be back this Tuesday. We're hoping for Jamie Dundee to be joining us. Make sure you join us right here on ITR Live.
stain, a bird's eye is to turn a blizzard to a breeze. Never felt the way I feel today. It's so young, it's hard for me to express